when nothing truly mattered and we hadn't had a clue. We fell into play the game, nothing would ever be the same. There were times when there was laughter, there were times when there was joy, but they took it all away for the pleasure and our pain. Welcome to our new world. Shine a light on everything. Please don't be scared for what we know. Welcome to our new world. All the lie you tried to hide away from the scars we made. This is your chance to understand we did not design this plan that was built for you. There's nothing you can do. This is my warning, this is your sign that you can't go running high. We will fight for you. You know it to be true. Welcome to our new world. Shine a light on everything. Please don't be scared for what we know. Welcome to our new world. All the lie you tried to hide away from the scars we made. From the scars we Welcome to our new world. Shine a light on everything. Please.
Welcome, everyone, back to Nerd TV. This time for a global sim racing truck series race on a Sunday evening from the simulated Worldwide Technology Raceway for the Worldwide Battle 200. And here's your weather. Stats are on the left-hand side of your screen right now, 72 degrees Fahrenheit. A lot of humidity over here in the Illinois area. Clear skies, but it shows a cloud, so somewhere our radar system's a little messed up, but you see there in the skies it looks clear, so we'll go for the actual sky, not that little graphic. And 9-mile-an-hour winds, that is accurate, so just a light breeze around this 1.25 mile Darlington shaped oval. My name is Jeremy Stanley, aka Jay Swifty on the interwebs, and to my right hand side, double duty, what's more, Dustin Loxton, aka Ballistic on the interwebs. How you doing, guy?
I'm doing pretty good. Waiting to see the drivers of the Global Racing Truck Series take battle at Worldwide Technology Raceway for the Worldwide Battle 200. Jeremy, this track has been hot. I'm not talking temperature hot. This track has been hot since it hit the scene and hit the schedule. It has been phenomenal. It's posed some great racing. It's sold out 3 years in a row now in real life. It's been putting up some stellar numbers here, and these drivers here are going to try to tame this, like you said, very, very unique shape very Darlington-esque, like you said. Turns 1 and 2 very much tighter than turns 3 and 4. 3 and 4 are much wider, angled approach and exit. So it's going to pose some problems, but we are going to have the dreaded coffin corners, Jeremy. Corners 2 and 4. You see turn 4 on the camera now. These are going to be the trouble points for them. The trucks are going to get loose. Trucks are going to drift up into that safer barrier as well. So coffin corners 2 and 4 tonight.
I mean, you can build that up, but I don't know if you checked the stat books on this one. They had a 3-hour practice session leading up into qualifying. We usually see 1 hour on every single league race we call, but I'm looking at this board. They've been live for 2 hours and 58 minutes as we get about a minute and a half before qualifying. That's a crazy amount of practice. So if they haven't practiced already, they got it tonight here this Sunday evening. And yeah, this track is like if you had Phoenix and Darlington have a baby, you get Worldwide Technology Raceway. I got a little stats because, you know, Jason's not here. So this track opened up 1985, oval side on 1997. So we're approaching 30 years for this 1.25 mile oval. And yeah, this track is hot as far as attendance goes, as far as the racing goes. Cup race just had an amazing battle before people ran out of gas and had gear issues. So I'm looking forward to the virtual side where you don't have, you know, transmissions go out on you mid-race. And there is shifting here, Dustin.
There is. You're going to see drivers downshifting, especially in turns 1 and 2. They're going to get that entry into turn 1. They're going to let that motor kind of wind down a little bit, and they're going to downshift it to third to get that good run off. Turns 3 and 4, it's going to be a toss-up. Some drivers, it's going to be driver preference more so, whether they want to downshift in third to try to get that good run off. A lot of drivers tend to leave it in fourth gear and let it roll. So 3 and 4, it's going to be a driver discretion and toss-up, but 1 and 2, if you want to be fast, you're going to have to downshift.
Yeah, absolutely. 3 and 4, it's 50-50. I was in the truck a little bit here, and you could run it maybe on the longer half of the run, but the short run, it's you're going to run the high RPM, so I advise not to do it. But 1 and 2, very crucial. You want to run third gear, you need the power down to get on corner exit. That's how you're going to win this race here tonight. And Dustin, we already got 12 or 13 viewers on the YouTube side. That's a big number before qualifying even. So appreciate everyone joining in. 12 viewers, shout out whatever you want. The YouTube chats are open. I will gladly read them off when I can. And Dustin, 3-hour practice session, 100% over. So it's our time to get our faces off your screens, and we're gonna go live qualifying, full screen here. Practice winner. Don't be surprised by this name. Chad McGinley in the 65 picked up a win last week. It's going to be win number 5 for him. And so we're looking to do number 6 for the 65. But yeah, whole a tenth of a second faster. And they got 5 minutes to do 2 more laps around here.
Yeah, it's going to be a good qualifying session. We're waiting for McGinley to take the track. And while we wait, we do want to shout out to Michael Lester as well. Michael Lester had to take a leave of absence temporarily away from the Global Racing Truck Series, both as a driver and then later on as an admin as well. And he passed off his admin duties to Stephen Hayes. He had some family medical stuff that actually came up that has actually taken up a lot of his time. And we all know that that is more important than anything that we can do in this simulation software. So everybody in the league, as well as the entire broadcast team, wants to give a shout out to Michael Lester. Let him know that we're thinking about him and hope that everything works out. And we await his triumphant return back to Global Racing Truck Series.
Yeah, hopefully whatever's going on that end, him and his family can recover from it, and we'll get him back into the scene here shortly. Definitely looking forward to that. So as that said, third place, fastest in practice. One of the new guys here. You're going to hear a couple of new guys. Austin McGill in the 99. If you've been a Nerd TV fan for a little bit, he has been on our broadcast for quite some time on a Monday series at FTSR, and now he's in here with the Global Sim Racing Truck Series, but it looks like we're on board the 89 on track right now. Bobby Mantle as he goes through 3 and 4.
Yeah, 3 and 4, and you see he takes that ever easy approach there. They're going to want to get as close to that rumble strip as possible through 3 and 4. Now 1 and 2, it's going to be a little different. You're going to see him kind of drift up. He finishes his qualifying line Chad McGinley, though, we're going to hop on board with him as he goes through 3 and 4. This is his warm-up lap, so he's going to try to wind this bad boy up as much as he can, and then he's going to cut it down the hill to get that extra speed coming off of turn 4. Good qualifying line. He's going to stick that wall. Timing loop starts now, and you're going to see a little variance. Some drivers will run that dark groove right there and then slip up, just like he did to the second dark groove, downshift, and then try to get that run off. Turns 1 and 2, Jeremy, are so crucial, and you're going to see a lot of different lines going through there, but again, a lot of different shift points. 3 and 4, though, are pretty much set. They're going to go right down to that rumble strip just like what he is. They're going to paint that white line, get a shot off here. This is going to be a decent lap right here by the 65.
Only want to hit a 33.6 second one, and he's going to give it up on one and done. 33.705. Wonder what the call was for that to one lap. It's not like you're saving tires. It's a virtual truck. Go spend it. But I guess he's confident on that first lap. But look at this. The guy who was about 12th or so in practice, Joshua Slade, comes through here. He won on the qualifying boards with 33.576. Two drivers hit the .5 bracket. That's Joshua Slade and the number 1 of Michael Hayes.
Yeah, Hayes sneaked in there and knocked Mantle down to P2, and then Slade knocked both of them down a position. Mantle, the only driver in the 33.6 bracket. You got two drivers, being McGinley and McGill, that are in the dead heat even at 33.70, so that time went to the third decimal point. Right now we're riding on board with one of the new drivers for the Global Racing Truck Series, Curtis Noble here. Just put up his first time, slotted him P15 at a 34.41. So got to do a little work there, Jeremy, to try to get that up. But again, fast laps are great in qualifying, but it's going to be tire management all the way for this race. 160 laps is the slotted distance tonight. It's a lot of laps. These drivers are going to have to take care of their stuff if they want to make it to that last lap.
You saw that line there through turns 3 and 4. He washed up a little bit. That's not on accident. That's on accident.
Oh!
As we see contact here.
Coffin corner number 4, Jeremy. That's what we talked about. Those trucks will get really loose coming off of turn 4 like that, and they'll do it off of turn 2. Turn 2 is understandable, though, because these drivers will downshift into third, so you have a higher chance at that tire slippage and the weight jacking over one way or the other. So these trucks will get very rear end happy and lightweight on that, and you'll see them kind of kick a little bit going off at turn 2. So, but turn 4, it does bite as well.
Yeah, that was the 95 Jason Schilling, also one of the new guys here. We'll go over these lists here. Just 13th race of the season here for the 2024 season at the Global Sim Racing Truck Series, and just, I don't know what happened, Dustin. This week they picked up some drivers. You know, we see one maybe here, one maybe there, but we got quite a few starting their first race for this league here this Sunday evening at Worldwide Technology Raceway. And you're going to bring back the walk down the grid on the front straightaway for us. So here we go. Here's your starting lineup for the Worldwide Battle 200. Joshua Slade does hold on P1. Michael Hayes on the outside in second. Third place, Tyler Honeycutt, the 20. Fourth place will be Bobby Mantle. Fifth place, your points leader, Chad McGinley. In sixth place, newcomer Austin McGill. Seventh will be JJ McCoy. Eighth place, Stephen Hayes. Ninth place will be Clayton White. 10th place, your final top 10 spot is going to be Justin LeBlanc. 11th, newcomer Brody Marinko. And then 12th place will be Bradley Miner. 13th, EJ Luna. 14th place, Danny White. 15th, also newcomer Curtis Noble. 16th place, Ronald Holmes. 17th, Anthony Emmerich, also newcomer here. 18th will be John De Matteo. 19th, Mark Sherwood. 20th place, also another newcomer, Abram Ghostin. 21st place, also Jason Schilling, newcomer. Steven Smith in the 22nd spot, also newcomer. Ron Harrington, 23rd, and Michael Dow is going to be your last in place truck here, 24th on the grid. 24 trucks in this entry. I think there's about 5 new names here, Dustin. So we know who Austin McGill is. We've called him before for a year, last year. But we're going to see how he stacks up with these boys. But the other names, though, not too familiar. So we're going to see what they can provide here for this league every single Sunday.
Yeah, it's always good to see new names, and there's nothing more nerve-wracking than your first event with a new league. You're trying to learn the drivers, and what a challenging track to come to make your first slot than Worldwide Technology Raceway. So this track in itself is challenging to begin with. So it's going to be a tough one, But I feel that these drivers that they'll be able to stack up. It's going to be a good race. The drivers just have to learn that, listen, you can't win it on lap 5. There's got to be a little give and take. Don't dive bomb the corners. If you don't have that run, back it out that corner. Wait to set it up for the next corner. It will happen. It got a lot of laps before we get to that checkered flag, and really, there's only one lap that matters in leading, and that's that very last one.
Absolutely. We got an astounding 23 viewers on YouTube so far, the most we've ever seen before a drop of a green flag here on our Sunday evening. So appreciate all the attendance here tonight. Hopefully this race provides some great racing. The Worldwide Battle 200 is underway here. Joshua Slade gets about almost a truck length over Michael Hayes before they get to turn 1. And we're going to see trucks scatter that bottom, middle, upper groove probably early on in this race. Oh, contact almost from number 1 in the 12 there in turn 2. They keep it straight there. They get about a 4 truck length advantage over the 20 in Honeycutt as they're side by side for 5th, 6th, 7th.
Yeah, you got side-by-side action between Grim Reaper Motorsports teammates here, and that's McGinley and Mantle side-by-side. And you see that, Jeremy, this is a multi-groove track, so you can run varying grooves and be just as fast as another one. It's all based on driver setup. Look at the blocks from the 12 of Slade there. Oh, the 20 of Honeycutt going around. He saves it. What a save.
Wow.
Still gathering it up. They're still... but Slade is around.
Nobody hits Joshua Slade. Oh, there we go. We got more contact. Finally with the 20. I'm surprised they made it that far, Dustin. Huge slip up there by Tyler Honeycutt. And finally made some contact late off turn 2.
Yeah, and we didn't even catch all of what happened with Slade on that one because we were watching Honeycutt. There's Honeycutt's save. Look at the wheelmanship here. Oh, that's what it was. We were focused on Honeycutt's driving, and Mike Hayes and Joshua Slade just got in the corner, a little bit of contact there, and this is right at the downshift point. So the trucks are already off balance, and that was just enough, just that slight contact to send him around there. But Jeremy, those guys were racing hard and heavy there off the start. But I tell you what, excellent save by the 20 of Tyler Honeycutt, though. And nobody hits him. Slade locks it down, and nobody hits him one bit.
Yeah, they were 4 wide trying to separate themselves from the 12 truck parked on the outside of turn 2, and thankfully no contact was had. A little contact with the 20 of Tyler Honeycutt. I don't think it's going to affect him too bad. We'll see for sure, though, when we get back to green flag racing, as underneath our first caution on lap 2 from sponsored by Boomer Button Box, of course. And we're going to go on board with the 20 who gets clipped, obviously, just gets sent into turn 1. Not going to use it yet, Dustin. And he saves it.
You're going to save it.
He walks it. We're going to save it. And then gets loose once more. And there's the contact. Wasn't bad.
Well, and that one there, I mean, it was tough because, I mean, Tyler was still trying to gather it back up. But even after he saved it, he was still loose through turns 1 and 2, from the apex between 1 and 2 and off. And then the contact that happened between Mike Hayes and Joshua Slade, that just started stacking everybody up. So he was just trying to get out of the way on that one and lost it there, just trying to stay out of the way and not making contact with Joshua Slade. So, I mean, that's what this track breeds. I mean, it's turns 1 and 2 are probably one of the most difficult ones to race here because everybody's braking point is entirely different. And you can, if you time it right, as long as you don't sit here and completely just full send university into the driver on the outside, you can outbrake them into turn 1. So it's a very good passing opportunity, and some drivers will try to utilize that.
Getting close to using it there, but yeah, the reaction's going to be great here. You're already seeing the multiple grooves just on that little 2-lap stint. I'm looking forward to see what they can do in the long run for sure. Turn 3 and 4 are pretty self-explanatory. You're on the bottom, maybe slightly slide up the track, come down, and get the straighter corner exit. We saw in the Cup race, Ryan Blaney was running up there in the 3rd groove, basically running right at the edge of the darker part where the rubber part of the track was. 1 and 2, though, it is that progressive style banking a little bit flatter on the bottom lane than it is 2, 3, or 4 up, and so it allows some diamonding effects. It allows some passing efforts to be had on the bottom or the top, depending on how you drive your truck here. And hopefully we can get that green flag action to show exactly what this track is made of. No one really talked about this track until the week of, but really it's one of those hidden gems, I think.
It really is. Like I said, this track was definitely a good call to add to the real life schedule, and obviously the iRacing simulation platform followed suit and added it to its official schedules as well. Real life, it sells out every time we have a race that comes here, and the racing action on the simulation platform is probably some of the best. You get that higher speeds of that mile to almost mile and a half track, but you get that short track feel, Jeremy. Like, it feels like a Bristol. It feels like a Richmond. It has that short track feel because of that tight turn 1 and 2. So you kind of get the best of both worlds. Pace truck is off. We're getting ready to go green flag, race it here. Mike Hayes leads them down. Green flag flies, and we're back underway.
What a restart there from Michael Hayes in the 1. Already gets a 1 truck length advantage over Bobby Mantle here, second place. Look at the yellow spoilers from Grimmer Motorsports here, just racing it hard, 2, 3, 4. But that number 1, Michael Hayes, gaps him a decent amount there going down the back straightaway here on this restart on lap 6. Goes off for 3 and 4. Looks like JJ McCoy's going to try to pick up that spot over his teammate Bobby Mantle in the 89. Does so. Those 3 trucks go single file as the top 10 go single file as well, Dustin.
Yeah, I know that 22 JJ McCoy has been catching a lot of official races at this track. He's probably got more laps under this thing than I can even imagine. So he knows how to run this track. So Mike Hayes is going to have his hands full. Not saying Mike Hayes can't get it done. We've seen Mike Hayes get it done. But he's definitely going to have his hands full right now. Single file all the way down the backstretch right now. Couple trucks looking to peak. But everybody's staying in line, Jeremy.
Yep, going to play a lot more safe than they did in the opening laps here. You saw it got pretty crowded quickly and some contact was had. And now we're a little contact, I think, from the 26 of De Matteo and the 88 as well from Curtis Noble. Wasn't too sure on corner exit. Oh, but he's going to send it deep. Gets on the brakes heavy, heavy, heavy. John De Matteo somehow keeps it off the door panel from Noble, and they go back single file. What a pass early on from John De Matteo.
Yeah, and that's what we were talking about, Jeremy, was that turn 1 is a big time passing opportunity zone as long as you can get it done right. De Matteo did that picture perfect. I mean, late entry in, late break point, heavy on the brakes, and then drive off. That's how you're going to get it done in turn 1. The issue is doing that later in a run when those tires are not so happy with you at that point in time. That truck's not going to stick as well as it did for De Matteo this time. Oh, 95 a little loose there. And that's Jason Schilling. He was able to gather it back up. That's off that treacherous turn 2, one of the coffin corners for tonight.
Yeah, no, it's going to get tricky, especially these tires wear out too. You run so close to the long corner exit. That's how you get most of your speed, because the corners are more flat compared to your typical 1.5 mile track. So things get tight. Things get tight, they get loose, it gets everything in between. And we see a pass effort from the 22 and the 1. JJ McCoy has the lead the last couple laps anyways. As you see Joshua Slade. Oh, never mind, we're going to back it down. Second caution presented by Boomer Button Boxes here on lap number 10. Of scheduled 160 here tonight, and it might involve the number 41 of Steven Knight here in turns 1 and 2. So we're going to look here in turn 1 and 2. Actually contact AJ Luna. Make some contact. What a save to initialize, but he slides back up the track. That's oh so scary. Way to lock it down. I saw the 41 really slow. That was because he was just avoiding. You see him coming from the grass right there. From EJ Luna, but man, great save from the 24 of EJ Luna.
Yeah, that's that. When they say lock it down, that's what they mean by lock it down. Hold those brakes so it does not slide up. That could have been way worse than what it actually was. Like I said, that was that coming off of the corner there, a little bit of a slide up there. Locked it down right there out of the racing groove. You see the 41 going down in the grass rather than taking out EJ Luna. Minimal issues there. Looks like everybody's going to drive away. That's picture perfect lockdown.
Yeah, that really was there for sure. And question is who's going to make or I thought the question was going to be who's going to come down pit road early. No one's going to take those tires just yet. A little too early. But you drive these trucks so hard on the flat surface here at Gateway, especially 3 and 4. You utilize a lot of your tire wear through those corners to go fast. And so I wouldn't have been surprised if I saw some takers, but don't see any this cycle around lap 12. Probably going to resume this race on lap 14. You see the 24 Luna. He's on pit road. That's because he did that huge lockdown, flat spotted all 4 virtual Goodyears. See the 22. He's also on pit road. And so 2 takers there. Well, that was the 22. The scheme's not correct. Of course, JJ McCoy is the 22 and has been for quite some time. But, you know.
Abram is the 25 on the tower.
The 25 on the tower, 22 on the truck. So just too many 2s out here, Justin.
And obviously too many D's because you called me Justin, but it's okay. I'll let it slide.
I changed it. I stuttered on the D and J. It's fine.
It's all right. So to let you guys know, there's been, obviously we've called it out. There's some new drivers and new names. Some of them were not able to get their paint jobs and their paint schemes set up in time for tonight's race, but they will be squared away for next week. So if there is some inconsistencies with the numbers on the trucks and the numbers on the scoring pylon, that would be your reason why. So they will be corrected. They will have the corresponding team spoilers that is very synonymous with Global Racing Truck Series here, and it definitely helps out the viewers out there and the commentating and broadcast crew to be able to tell what's going on. Speaking of spoilers, we've had some new teams, Jeremy. We've had J-Dog Motorsports is a newer team, as well as Team... Now, this name, from what I'm told, is temporary. They had to get a team name, but Team Whatchamacallit, and that is headed by none other than Clayton White, who is new this season. And he was able to actually get a team with Anthony Emmerich and Austin McGill. And again, Austin McGill, we are very familiar with from Eastern Star Motorsports from the FTSR days when we broadcasted. So some new faces, some new teams, and we will have some new paint jobs come next week.
Yes, we will, for sure. And Team Whatchamacallit needs to stick.
I love that. I love that. I love it.
Yeah, it's a great name. The candy bar is great. Everything about it's cool. So I think they should stick it. But it's a long name, though. I don't know. We're going to put all those letters on the spoiler, but here we go. Green flag is out here. JJ McCoy with an excellent start. Instantly jumps out to a 2 to 3 truck length advantage. Side by side, second and third. That's Bobby Mantle on the bottom. Michael Hayes on the top. As Bobby has to really check up turn 1. That brings Michael back into the picture. He's going to bounce off the wall, though, here, and that's going to slow up him and Chad McGinley in the 65. That's going to bring around Bobby and the 99 of Austin McGill here. And he tries to make the pass, does not get it completed. First 2 single file, third and fourth still hashing it out.
Yeah, right now that's your battle for third place side by side as they sit right now. Still side by side going into turn 1. Austin McGill should have the preferred line in here, should have him cleared going in. Does for a moment. Hayes trying to battle back, but just not going to have enough. Mark Austin McGill up to P3, Hayes to P4, but right now he's under a lot of pressure and fire from your current points leader, driver of that 65, Chad McGinley.
As he's trying to get to the front where he's been so much this entire season in 2024. Trying to get around Michael. Michael had that wall contact, and he's dropped a couple spots, so I'm wondering if that truck may not be 100%. Didn't look like much on the wall contact in turn 2, but he has fallen back a couple spots nonetheless. Kind of focusing a little bit further through the field here. This 88 Curtis Noble, 64 Danny White. Side by side here, Bradley Miner in the 46. And Tyler Honeycutt trying to recover from that turn 2 spin. He's going to move himself into 14.
Yeah, truck looks fairly clean even after the slight contact. You see that right rear kind of dented in a little bit right around that where that tail light is at, but not affecting him at all. A little bit of scuff on the left side. Could have been way worse, but he's currently slotted in the 14th position, trying to work his way back up again. A lot of laps, Jeremy. We're only working lap 17 of scheduled 160 distance, and look at the race up here between Noble and White. Those guys were literally just door sliding that whole corner.
Man, there was a couple of different racing battles going on that last lap. But looks like Danny White's going to get the better of Curtis Noble as he gives it up. And oh, he's trying to do a huge crossover, straighten up that corner exit. But the 64 closes the inside door. 88 has to check up. They go back single file down the front straightaway to complete lap 17.
Oh, De Matteo trying that outbreak maneuver that he completed a couple laps ago on Justin LeBlanc. LeBlanc wasn't having anything of it, though. LeBlanc held hard on that outside line, was able to maintain that position. De Matteo slots back in 8th place. He's going to try to regroup and try it again, Jeremy.
Try it once more. We've already seen him aggressively pass one truck. I know he's got more in the tank. As long as you keep it clean, we love to see it. Little contact there in the back, maybe from Stephen Hayes in the Whataburger truck. Wasn't sure. I saw the puff of smoke there. Ooh, close racing here. Tyler Honeycutt making the pass on Curtis Noble this time. Cleanly passes him real quick before turn 2. They go back single file once more. 88's going to utilize the outside of the track speed to clear Bradley Minor. Now here comes Stephen Hayes behind him, trying to make the pass. All right, you see the 13. He got that huge run on turn 2. Cleanly passes Bradley here into turn 3.
Yeah, good, excellent break in, passes him. He's going to try to go for more. A little bit of a bobble from the 88 there, but it's not going to stop Stephen Hayes. He still has that run. He's got that inside fender. Minor going to go to the outside. Hayes backs out rather than drifting up into the left rear corner of the 88 and Noble. And Jeremy, this racing here, man, this is where it's at. These guys are racing hard.
Racing hard and minus the turn 2 incident, racing very, very clean. A lot of passing efforts, not necessarily, completed passes. Because it is very difficult to pass here with that progressive in 1 and 2 and the 3 and 4 just being flat and over 180 degrees of rotation. It makes things very difficult for all 24 of these drivers here this evening. There are 20 laps in the books, 140 to go. The fuel window is around 50 to 53, and so these guys have not pitted yet. So in about 30, 35 laps with the 2 cautions, I would say about 55 to 60 at most, we'll see these trucks come down if there's not another caution in between.
I would expect a number of these drivers that once they hit that lap 50 mark, so 50 laps on their current set of tires, they're probably going to be coming down. Not so much for the fuel, but early because they want to get that fresh rubber. Short pitting is the thing here. You can gain up, but the fall off and the plateau with these tires is relatively quicker than a lot of other tracks, Jeremy. By plateau, what we mean is the lap times of old tires to fresh tires. Fresh tires will be fast for a while. Old tires will fall off to a certain point, and then you're pretty much going to be pulling the same lap time. Fresh tires will do the same, and they'll plateau no matter how fresher they are over the old ones. So it is a much quicker gap in between that plateau.
Yeah, that's exactly what that means, and it'll happen here more than other tracks for sure. You see that big gap there between the number 64 Danny White and Brody Marinko. I'm trying to pronounce that name right. So those two have a 2-second differential between those two trucks. That's for 10th and 11th. So top 10, nice little breakaway so far. As Tyler Honeycutt gets a little loose there on corner exit 4 as he passes the 64 there, cycling back up through the field here a little bit. There's the one of Michael Hayes, currently holds 5th place. 99 of McGill in 4th right now, holding up a strong run right now. But now he's getting his first taste of these yellow spoilers out here at Grim Reaper Motorsports, as they are in a very familiar position in their races.
Yeah, currently holding the entire podium slots, 1st through 3rd, being McCoy, McGinley, and Mantle. So right now, Austin McGill is understanding the yellow spoilers and what is Grim Reaper Motorsports, but he's putting all kinds of pressure right now on that 89 of Bobby McGill. Just because the team's up there, he's not letting up as he gets loose off of turn 2, corrects it, brings it back. Looks like, what was that, the 41 also got loose as well coming off.
Yep. That really did there. And
no, that's the 14, not 41. That was Clayton White.
So the black and green trucks, like, it's the 14 and the 41. So I very easily can get mixed up here as we get used to some of these newer schemes and newer drivers here for the Global Sim Racing Truck Series. So we'll try to balance that out where we can. But that is the 14 of Clay White. He's not new, but he's in a newer scheme, which kind of matches the 41 as far as the color of the number anyways. But, oh, you see the 65 McGinley. He was really low at the bottom left-hand corner. Oh, here's the 41. Getting really sideways. Saves it. We stay green.
Yeah, that was a good save. I just swapped the camera over, back up, and then right as I swapped it, that was right when the 41 got loose there, but it was an excellent save. Lead change up front, though. You see Chad McGinley is taking that top spot. Teammate JJ McCoy falls back to P2. And Bobby Mantle still holding on to P3. He's got a little bit of breathing room right now between himself and the 99 of Austin McGill right now. So, Jeremy, it looks like those yellow spoilers are starting to put a little bit of separation on these longer green flag runs.
Yep, absolutely here. We're going to take a little early picture-in-picture break here. First commercial break. We'll be right back after a few messages.
welcome back. We are back racing. You see the 65 of Chad McGinley out to a commanding lead right now as he is out front and has left his Grim Reaper Motorsports teammates. He's got almost a 2-second lead over JJ McCoy, who just got done battling it out there quite a bit with his Grim Reaper Motorsport teammate Bobby Mantle. Mantle had the pass, but McCoy got it back. Mike Hayes has been back there battling with Austin McGill. McGill's had nothing but a mireful of that number 1 for a number of laps, and look who has worked his way back into the picture. That 12 of Joshua Slade working his way back up after that early race caution that caused him to spin. He is on the way up and on the move. As we sit here and watch these drivers race it out, my co-host will be back. Had some tiny human problems. Oh, come on. So little man back there behind the scenes was not having a good time. So had to step away and do the daddy role, which is way more important than anything that we do up in the booth here. So racing has gone on. We are roughly probably about 13-ish laps away from pit stops. Could be a couple laps sooner depending on if some of these want to try to take that short pit approach. It's entirely possible that they would. But I tell you what, the racing has been phenomenal to this point. This is one of the longest green flag runs that we have seen tonight, 38 laps. Remember that early race caution was early on, only with it, I think it was like lap 2 or lap 3. So we have been on the same green flag run since we went back racing, and these drivers have been on the same set of tires, and you're starting to see some of those long run drivers start to come in. Your top 3 has not changed, but ever so briefly. Again, McGinley, McCoy, and Mantle up in the top 3, holding those spots. McGill has not changed in 4th place. Nor has the one of Mike Hayes. Slade is the new one moving his way up. Clayton White has found himself in 7th place. He is actually up 2 spots from where he started. Up 2 spots. Your next position is going to be in 8th. Is going to be Brody Marinko there in that number 54. He's moved his way up 3 spots from his starting spot. A lot of pressure from the 85 of LeBlanc, who's currently in 9th, up 1 spot from his starting spot. These two have been duking it out for, I swear, the last 10 laps straight. Back and forth, passing, drifting up, drifting down, crossover. You would think that they were fighting for the lead at this point in time. And then John DeMatteo is rounding out your top 10 right now. You see Stephen Hayes creeping in the background there, but currently that is your Nerd TV top 10 recap.
There you go. And I am back here. Thanks for a little coverage there, a little behind the scenes.
That's what we do.
With the kiddo, and I think we finally figured it out. But, yep, resuming on lap 40. And looks like I've missed Chad McGinley in the 65 take over the race lead, Dustin. He's got a 3-second advantage. What happened here?
Yeah, he has been driving away from his teammates ever so slowly. Just 3 laps ago, it was 2 seconds. So in the last 3 laps, it was actually 1.8. He's actually went out to a 3.2 second lead. So McGinley is in a whole new zip code. But these two Grim Reaper drivers have been duking it out lap after lap. We have seen Mantle take the point on this one here and take the position, and then you'll see JJ McCoy go and take the position right back. So this could be a contribution to how their other teammate Chad McGinley has got out to such a big lead.
Well, there we go, 3.3 last time by. See some trucks getting loose. Looks like that was Bobby Mantle in P2. Looks like Austin McGill still holding 4th. Michael Hayes still holding 5th. And I got a surprise for Joshua Slade in this 12 truck. You got him on your screen now. He's asked me about a certain creator on the interwebs, and I'm here. I just need him to get another podium. And so that's my pick tonight, just because it's a selfish pick. But he's got some struggling on the handling side, Dustin. He was 8th fastest in practice. He had a really good qualifying time. Obviously started P1, but he's dropped back to 6th, fighting Michael Hayes here, trying to get into the top 5. So a little off night here for the 12 truck, who's just come on strong in the past 2 months. I would say, on these Sundays, just getting better and better and better, consistently finding himself in the top 3 podiums, and having a good battle here with Michael as he crossed the line to complete lap 43.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you remember on that lap 2 or lap 3 caution that he was involved, he fell way back after that one there due to that spin. Ooh, drift up. Mike Hayes into the wall on that one there. He's able to rebound. A little bit of scuff leaves his mark in turn 2. But Joshua Slade's been working his way slowly back up, trying to rebound from that. And that was on lap 2 or 3, Jeremy. We're hitting lap 44 right now, coming to lap 45. These drivers are looking to, within the next 6 to 7 laps, hit pit road again, possibly sooner, depending on if some of these drivers want to try the short pit approach. But we're looking to see green flag pit stops starting to amp up. And speaking of pit stops, Jeremy, we got to talk about pit road here. It's a little bit different. This track here is one that utilizes an access road. That access road is actually in turn 3. So we sit here and go on board Mike Hayes right now. You're going to see that access road coming up right here on the left. Right there's the start of the access road right there. They have to follow that all the way around to get to pit road. And pit road actual commitment timing loop doesn't start till right now. So they have to follow that all the way around. You're going to see some people try to hot pit it because that whole road, access road, is not a speed limit time zone. So they're going to try to hot foot it all the way around there under green flag to try to cut back the amount of time lost while going in pits for green flag pit stops.
Not saying you should, but if I'm the 65 McGinley who has a 3-second advantage, I'm going to stab the brake and turn forward, quickly dive it down on that little asphalt concrete patch, shortcut pit road.
You cannot. You will get a black flag. iRacing will issue, the race stewards of iRacing will issue you an unsafe pit entry black flag penalty on that one. You have to take the access road from turn 3 all the way around to turn 4.
Well, the good thing they coded that into this track, or else I'd be attempting it where I could. And getting out a 4-second lead now, that 65 McGinley does. Just continuing to put on a clinic here, getting close to pit road. And then that window was extended after those 2 cautions to about lap 50 to 55. I would say is the earliest point you're going to see them come down pit road. Maybe they can extend it to lap 60 in this race, which will put them exactly 100 laps to go. And then at that point, you're going to have one more pit stop because it is going to be past the 50 to go mark when they can hit the window once more. So 2 pit stops left at most unless we have some caution breaks.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm kind of curious to see how these green flag pit stops are going to take place. What drivers are going to push that access road, what ones are going to try to be a little bit more conservative, how much people are going to lose on pit road, how much people are going to gain. But yeah, that little concrete patch that you were talking about, Jeremy, that was something that was briefed in drivers meeting by league admin saying, listen, we are pre-warning you right now. If you try to utilize that little cement patch off of turn 4, and we're going to take a look at it right now. You see it right down there. That's what Jeremy was talking about. That if you utilize that cement patch, iRacing will issue you an unsafe pit entry penalty, so do not even attempt it.
That's just the Joker lap. That's all that is to me. But yeah, I can't do it, unfortunately. And they will abide to the turn 3 access road, which is very flat, very slow. A lot of drivers are not used to doing it, rather. And you see the 14, Clayton White, he got loose there that time off of turn 2. The 54, Brody Marinko, as he's now going to utilize it. And here we go. Pit window is open for these guys on lap 51. Taking a really conservative approach, hugging the white line on the bottom. And now he's going to get down to pit road speed by here, which is a solid 45 mile an hour gear 2. And that's what pit road looks like here at Gateway. Yeah,
and it's like I said, he being Brody Marinko has got it super easy. He didn't have any other trucks to worry about or anything else. He's trying to short pit. Now his goal is this green flag pit cycle is going to go full tilt and full circle all the way around. You see one of our top 3, Bobby Mantle, is elected to come down pit road. Everybody else so far, Jeremy, still staying out at this point in time. So only 2 takers right now. Lap 51 with Marinko and lap 52 with Bobby Mantle.
You know, this makes me kind of curious, Dustin. Like I said, I reported whenever I tested for a few laps that the field window was around 52 for how I was driving the truck. They're putting now, and that's going to put them 108 laps to go 109. And so if you go 52 times 2, that's not 189, that's 104. So I wonder if they're going to have to just pay a little more on the conservative end to make those few extra laps up. You got plenty of time. It's just keep that in your back of your head if you're pitting early. You see Jonathan Mateo and Bradley Minor almost make some contact there, trying to get down to speed. Here comes EJ Luna. So that window is opened, but this is going to make it pretty close on fuel at the very end of this race here.
Yeah, and again, that all depends on how they're driving. I mean, you know as well as I, Jeremy, that drivers can conserve and save fuel in certain areas around the track, not getting on the throttle as soon. You can clutch it in certain areas as well, depending on the track. But it's going to be tough. I mean, these drivers, you know, could be banking on a caution that would extend them out those couple laps enough to make it to the end. But, you know, they may have to come in for a splash and go. I mean, it's tough to tell, but a lot of these other drivers right now, Jeremy, like your current race leader, Chad McGinley, I see him stretching it out as long as possible right now, as well as some of these other drivers, because they want to do everything they can to make it a 2 pit stop race. That means this pit stop that they're getting ready to do plus one more, and they'll have enough to make it to the end, not counting those ever so little pests known as green-white checkered, we call them overtime, that seem to rear their ugly face when drivers don't want them to.
Never fails if you're in a solid position on the race. That one of those will come out and just ruin everything that you worked for the whole hour and a half, 2 hours prior. You see more trucks on pit road, busy lap here on lap 55. Now this window, I feel confident they can make it on one more stop. It's the ones who pitted 4 to 5 laps prior I question, but being on lap 55, 56, you just got to run another 53 laps on the next run and you're good to go. I think you're going to be just fine. So I like where they're sitting. 65 McGinley, he's finally going to dip his toes on the pit road for the first time in this race. Going to give up the race lead to JJ McCoy and Austin McGill, who are still nose to tail here off of 3 and 4.
Yeah, and I agree, Jeremy. I think this one right here, the drivers that just came in last lap and anybody after that, so obviously your race leader at the time, Chad McGinley, I believe they can make it on one more stop. Should be all right. They sit here and stretch out this next one as much as possible. Should be all right. Ooh, Austin McGill, loose, wicked loose. Was able to hold on to it. Hold on to it there, big boy. Hold on to it. But look at the gap that just put there, and oh no. Throw that strategy out the window, Jeremy. There it went.
You know, I talked about how people build up 2 hours of racing for a strategy call just to have it thrown away. We just did 10 minutes of talking it up and building up the finish here, and then we're going to throw that away. Oh, this is going to... Oh, I thought they were going to make contact. They didn't. But look at the 23. He had to overcorrect it. He's going to shoot up the track. 64, Danny White overcorrects it. Oh, big oversteer there to recover back.
Lock it down.
Away from the inside wall. But wow, he doesn't hit anything. That's impressive.
Good lockdown. That's another good example of a lockdown. You seen that he was going up towards the wall and he cut it back down again, still on the brakes, kept it out of everything. That was a good save to prevent any further damage by the 64 of Danny White. That was a good bit of wheelmanship right there.
Man, the amount of grip that those tires had to not only cut it back down the track, then cut it back up to not hit the inside wall. Really impressive stuff there from the 64. But, yep. You're going to see the remainder of the trucks come down pit road, as they don't have to worry about speeding down as much as the other guys did because they're under caution. So not much to risk for these drivers, which are about 5 or 6 in total for this third caution here this evening. And actually about 6, 7, 8 kind of come down as they start to trickle in here more and more. There's Ronald Holmes in the 33. Currently we have 14 trucks on the lead lap. This should put De Mateo as the lucky dog or wave around, whatever you want to call it. I think we'll find out officially here.
We have to.
No.
We have to sit here and talk about Ron Holmes because he said that anytime we talk about him, it's only when he's wrecking. He's up in the top 10 right now. He's drove his way up in the top 10 by strategy out there on the track. So running a solid race right now. So Holmesy, there you go, my man. We talked about you, and it had nothing to do with wrecking whatsoever. See?
All right, you got your one in, Ronald. You can wreck it up some more. Just kidding. Don't actually do that. Quick shout out to the YouTube chats too. No, it's not lame. That's a interesting nickname, sir.
I love it.
Saying,
I love
let's
it.
go Grim. Talking about Grim Reaper Motorsports, and what a team to pick. They are dominating here this evening for the Worldwide Battle 200. Seen cheers for Let's Go Hayes from the Global Sim Racing page themselves. I don't know if you're talking about Michael or Steven. Either way, go Hayes. That's the 13 or the number 1. And 25 still concurrent viewers on the YouTube side alone. So really appreciate the attendance here this evening. Hopefully this race has been a good one for y'all to watch. We're going to go 2 more laps under pace, I do believe. And then we're going to kick it back to green flag action, which should resume on 62, Dustin.
Yeah, and you see a number of trucks out front right now. They are waiting for that wave around is what they're doing. So these were the drivers that pitted under green flag prior to the caution coming out and are at the tail end of the lead lap. Bobby Mantle right now is slotted as your first place driver where he sits. So once we cross the line again, you're going to see a slew of trucks making their way all the way back around this track to tag on to the tail end of this line here, which is all the way back there. So again, this is what a caution does right in the middle of a green flag pit cycle.
Yep, definitely mixes things up a little bit. And we're going to see what Chad can do on this restart. He pulled away late on that run. Now he's got basically fresh air with his teammate only in front of him. So we'll find out in a lap what that's going to look like for those two individuals. LeBlanc's having a great night. Austin McGill drops back a couple spots. Schilling in the 95 in the top 10 with Abram Ghostin and Anthony Emmerich. So 3 trucks in a row, 7th, 8th, and 9th, all newcomers here to my knowledge. And we're going to see what they can do with these guys up front here on this restart, which definitely will resume on lap 62 as the rest of the field gets caught up here for this restart.
Yeah, and like you said, Anthony Emmerich and Austin McGill, both part of that new team, which should not change their name, Team Whatchamacallit. If they leave that team name, somebody has got to run a Whatchamacallit paint team. They have to. It's in the rules. They have to do it. I'm just saying, throwing that out there. But yeah, I mean, this whole top 10 has just been shaken up with that caution right in the middle of that green flag pit cycle. My question is now is we haven't seen Joshua Slade really get racy up there with Chad McGinley or Bobby Mantle because he was leading early in this race when that caution came out on lap 2 or 3, and Mantle and McGinley hadn't made their way up there yet. So I'm kind of curious to see how this 3-way battle is going to take place because that's your top 3 right now is Mantle, McGinley, and Slade. Can't forget Mike Hayes back there who's been running stellar. Green flag flies. We are back underway.
What a start there for Bobby. Jumps out real quick. 2 truck links. Oh, the 12 almost washed up. Got on the brakes. He's good to go. Chad McGinley's going to try to make the pass, but it's really tight on corner exit. I don't know if he scraped the wall or not, but now it's going to open the door for Austin McGill in the 99. His Toyota Tundra is going to dive to the inside here, blocking halfway down the back straightaway. Saw him go 3 wide, entering the corner as the 99 65 still remains side by side. Through exit turn 4, going to utilize a little side draft here. Going to try to be nose to nose in turn 1. You see, and there's more contact here with the race leaders. More contact. 2 times they make door-to-door bumper contact. And it looks like they stay clean right now down the back straightaway.
Oh, yeah, this racing, and this is what I was talking about, Jeremy. I was interested to see how this was going to be, and now you throw into the mix the 99 to Austin McGill, who's been putting pressure on Chad McGinley. McGinley finally gives it up, and now McGill puts his nose on the inside of Mantle for P2. Oh, trying to pack the air on that left rear of Mantle there to try to slow him down. A little bit of side draft. Gets him that preferred line going through the set of corners here, Jeremy. And look at that move. McGill up to P2. Slade back up to the point. First time since the drop of the green flag on the initial start, Slade has made his way back up to the point. So, Jeremy, hard racing, and they're not done here yet. Mantle's still trying to fight back on McGill.
Yeah, excellent battle here. Nose to tail for the top 4. As they cross the line to complete lap number 64 here. Driving off from turn number 1, still single file. A lot of the trucks right now utilizing the same groove, the second groove right above the progressive part there with a little more banked. You can save your tire wear just a little bit more. Back to the field, Danny White, the 64, going to try to make a pass here on the number 95, Jason Schilling, as he's dropped a couple spots since he restarted in 7th place there just a few laps prior.
Yeah, and Danny White's actually not even for position right now. He's trying to just work his way up through the field there. Actually, the next position is behind the 95 is actually Clayton White, that other black and green truck out there that we keep getting confused with the 41 of Steven Smith. So they look very, very similar there. But again, now we're seeing that very straight line racing until you get all the way back there around Tyler Honeycutt. He's back there racing side by side with the 88 of Curtis Noble right now. So this racing getting pretty good. Tyler Honeycutt has had a struggle. He hasn't been able to work his way back up through the field since that lap 2, lap 3 incident there where he had that phenomenal save and great hands to save it, and then the caution came out after the contact between Slade and Hayes.
As you got, what was that, 3 wide, 4 wide down the back straightaway here. That's impressive stuff. Didn't expect that, but here we are. 10 laps into this green flag run, and they're going to try to settle it. Temporarily go 2 wide, 2 by 2 now. Dave Mateo gets loose on corner exit contact. He gets hooked by Stephen Hayes in the 13. So we stay green flag, but the 95 there, Schilling, is really hurt on the exit of 4.
Yeah, he knows that right front in there pretty hard, Jeremy. You can see the damage right now, and he's struggling. He's drifted up the track on that one there. So that truck not handling where it was before that contact there. Got loose off the corner there, and Stephen Hayes had nowhere to go on that one.
Yeah, he could check up, and he still was going to make contact there, and it's not good for the 95s. They're going to kick it over to the Nerd TV replay and see in real time here. There's the contact, slow motion as always, a little boop from the right front fender into the left rear. And it's tough because you hit that's a bad spot to hit regardless, but when he's already weight shifting, the 95 that is, Jason Schilling, his truck's not stable, you make that contact and it just breaks all the grip away from the virtual Goodyears and sent him in there. And now he's holding pace, it looks like. He just a little more beaten up and a little more character on the body panels of the 95.
Oh, these trucks are going to have character, Jeremy. By the time this race is done, they will have a lot of character. Good battle right now between the 14 of Clayton White and the 33 of Ron Holmes. They go by. You see Stephen Hayes and John DeMatteo up there duking it out side by side as it sits right now. Literally side by side. So DeMatteo has been running some excellent lines through here. Has been aggressive when he needs to be, but he's shown that he can really run it. And I got to tell you, Jeremy, I love that old style paint scheme that DeMatteo runs. This is a second or third time he's ran that, and that thing is awesome. I love the retro feel of that.
No, it is pretty awesome there. And I have a very similar scheme myself. I don't know if you recognize my Dusty Pete's paint scheme, which, it's a great time for a segue. Dusty Pete's, I like to shout them out since I'm talking about them. My scheme looks like that truck, and that'll be utilized on some Saturday or Monday racing on myself. But here we are. Dusty Pete's official hobby shop for the Nerded Twos. He's still getting dicey here with the 14 Clayton White in turn 4. But they're based out of New York. Plethora of comic books, action figures, collectible cards from all sorts of sporting stuff, all the way to the virtual monsters of the Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh world, and everything in between. So if you're trying to up your nerdom in whatever fashion possible, head yourself over to dustypeats.com. Promotion code SUPERNERD. It's going to save you 15%, since we got some contact there from your race leaders. 15% off your purchase, $20 or more at dustypeats.com. And man, what a way to send a plug out there. We got contact from first and second, then you got third place making some wall contact to 4. Again, pretty dang racy up here for this top 3, Dustin.
Oh yeah, it's McGinley is putting the full amount of pressure that he can right now on the 12, and now you see he's making his move side by side, diving it off into turn 3. Oh, we lost Slade for a second. Oh, door scrubbing, contact made by the leaders right now. McGinley is going to be able to make that pass. Slade's going to fall back to P2, and Austin McGill is right there. He was the one that just wall banged turn 4, not the last lap, but the lap prior, coming off when these two were duking it out.
And once this fresh air is found on the 65 of Chad McGinley, I feel like this is going to be a repeat of the last long green flag run where he's just going to slowly pull away. But we'll see if Joshua changes up his driving style to maybe contend a little longer with Chad McGinley. Austin McGill doing a great job in P3 right now. Remember, this is his first race here. We've seen him before. He runs really fast, and so it's no surprise to me that he's doing well. But you're always curious on how you're going to stack up to the other drivers in a new league.
Yeah, and like I said, we touched base on that earlier, Jeremy. The first race of a new league, the nerves are always up there because you don't know what to expect. You don't know how the other drivers are going to race. You don't know how you're going to perform. I mean, you and I have been in that, a number of different times, and it can be nerve-wracking. And you factor in that you're doing this at Worldwide Technology Raceway, which is a challenging track to begin with. It is definitely a driver's track. Is not a small feat, to say the least, but Austin McGill holding his own right now, but nobody can touch the 65 of Chad McGinley. Slade right now losing ground on your current race leader, Slade in second, and Jeremy, your top 6 are pretty much just spaced out. Top 7, I mean, you go all the way back. You have to go back to 8th on back and look at this gaggle of trucks right now, led by the 13 of Stephen Hayes.
Yeah, 100% there. Jump to the YouTube chats, of course. Brandy Logston, head nerd in charge, you like to call her. Saying good luck from all the drivers out there, and appreciate you joining in almost every single Sunday and Tuesday night to watch us. And we got some wrecking there on the front straightaways. We're going to turn it back to the action. Who's that?
That's the 54,
right,
Brody Marinko.
Yeah, he got some heavy damage to that truck. His right front's pushed in.
We're going to rewind it.
VHS rewind button is pressed. We're going to see... Oh, he just got loose. Dog walked into turns 3 exit, gets through turn 4, and just cannot gather it up here. Already loose. Saves it once, but it's too far gone. Saves it again, and bam. EJ Luna dives it down quick. You saw some tire rubber get spread across the track just from the sharp left-hand turn from EJ. But that sends now the 54.
I think he's got some damage. He's got some right front. Yeah, look at that tire. He's got some right front damage on that, Jeremy.
Oh, that tire's turned outward.
Yeah,
too.
that is going to be critical damage right now. That could be race ending at this point in time. I mean, his toe is knocked out so far. That's unfortunate for the first outing for the driver of the 54, Brody Marinko. Not what he was looking for his first outing for Global Racing League Truck Series.
Nope, that's going to be several minutes of repair, and if he does get back out and they can't get that thing straightened out, that's just a lot of tire wear and speed going to be scrubbed off. So Birdie's going to have a very hard uphill battle the rest of the way through this event as we're right at the halfway mark next time by. And just going to finish my thought from earlier. Appreciate you, Brandy, for jumping in almost every single night, and love the feedback nonetheless. But Dustin, the 54, Brody, he's already back on track. So Miracle Crew to get that repair made rather quickly. So I'm curious to see how long he remains on the track before he has to come back down pit road.
Yeah, it's that truck is definitely not going to handle the same, that's for sure. But he's doing everything he can right now. But he's not going to be competitive as far as speeds.
Oh.
Man, was that
Bobby
Mantle?
Yeah.
Man, we have got a lot of people hitting those walls, and not where I would expect, Jeremy. That was at the turn 3 entry, or turn 1 entry that we seen that one hit. So typically we don't see it a lot there. I mean, they usually do try to do a little bit of a swipe up to get that arc angle in, but I mean, we've seen Mantle hit it a couple times, and Austin McGill his wall slapped it a number of times as well. So he almost does it again there.
Yeah, that was very odd. Like he was out of turn 4, had it straight, and all of a sudden he just moved down the track, went up, and sideswiped it slightly. Not going to cause any issues for him, but it was just a very awkward situation there.
Yeah, McGill in the wall again, off at turn 2.
Remember what I said in the pre-race? These trucks, they get really tight and really loose at the same time, and you have to utilize every inch of this track to maximize your speed on this flat turn 3 and 4 especially. A lot of these drivers will sight really close to these walls on corner exits because it is crucial here at Worldwide Technology Raceway.
Yeah, and I mean, you got to be careful though. I mean, you do that too many times, you are going to cause mechanical issues with that truck that's going to take you out of a potential go. Oh, McGill, wicked loose, or Mantle, wicked loose out of turn 2 there. Almost hits the entry barrier there, which I'm surprised they haven't closed off yet, but it's still there, man. He almost hit that corner of that entrance to the track. And for those of you that don't know, this is one of the few tracks that still has an entrance that is on the side of the track like that. They do not have a tunnel going under the track for teams and cars and crews to utilize to go to and from the track. So once these races start, these crews and everybody else, they are stuck inside this track until the race is done. And that's not a bad thing unless your name is Kyle Busch and you've got Stenhouse waiting for you because you can't leave the track. Then it's not such a good thing.
I mean, it's great if you're a fan who loves to see some fights every once in a while. And Dale Jr. was like, cement off all the tunnels. Everybody needs gates. Got locked up these drivers until the race is over. And you know, that would be fun, but like obviously that's not going to happen. But cycling back through here, the 22, aka the 25, newcomer to this league. He is doing pretty decently, I would say. That's Abram Ghostin, P7 right now, up 13 positions.
Really, Jeremy?
It's the first time you've really seen him inside this top 10 tonight.
Yeah, and I was going to touch base. I mean, if you look at a lot of the newcomers, I mean, they're doing pretty stellar tonight. I mean, you've got Austin McGill. He's running top 3 right now, so in the podium. You've got Abram Ghostin right now running 7th, so solid top 10. The next one is going to be Anthony Emmerich back there. He's running just outside the top 10 and 12. And Curtis Noble, I mean, he's had some struggles and everything else, but he is just outside the top 15 and 16. I mean, these newcomers, they're holding their own with a lot of these league veterans. But speaking of Curtis Noble, look at this hornet's nest he's got around him.
This is good stuff. And this is the 64 Danny White. He's currently one lap down.
Oh!
And he gets loose. He saves it, really checks up. I think that was the 44 there, Mark Sherwood. Really backed him up there.
He had a little help on that one.
Yeah, he did have a little help, and you hate to see a lap truck get involved like that and mess up someone on the lead lap, but things happen from time to time as you get long into these green flag runs. Oh, EJ, calm down. He got loose off of turn 2. Great job by Curtis Noble to react to that and stay off the 24's back bumper.
Yeah, a lot of hard racing here, and you can see, Jeremy, that these drivers, these tires, they're not as fresh as what they were when they got them right now. We've seen a lot of drivers get loose off corner exits of 2 and 4. We've seen drivers tag the wall off 2 and 4 and going into 1 now. These drivers are pushing these trucks to the limit. 3 wide here as we go. Holmes up top, De Matteo in the center, getting loose. EJ Luna on the bottom gets loose. We got 2 trucks getting loose, and they all save it.
And they try and hold 3 wide where they can, but Ronald Holmes on the top got a great launch off of turn 2. Jay Mateo getting loose on turn 3 entry. He gets it back down, still loose. Hold on to it there. Keep it going straight. Great racing here. And now can the top lane pass the 26? Or he's got something, he's got to drive it in deep. He got loose in turn 3. Able to stick turn 1. Great job by John here.
I tell you what, though, I mean, Ron Holmes is putting up a hell of a fight on that top side, though. These drivers are struggling, Jeremy, and that's good. I mean, Ron Holmes is actually in a good position right now because these drivers are struggling to force these trucks down there. You see them getting loose off of there because they have to muscle the truck down there, and the trucks are not liking it. They're getting loose. You see Dave Mateo finally complete the pass on the 33 of Ron Holmes, but the fighting and battling still big right now. You got Noble on the inside of Luna right now. These two have been duking it out for a few laps as well, Jeremy, and they got nowhere to go. Oh, Holmes loose off of turn 2. He saves it, though. Good wheelmanship by the driver of the 33.
Holmes, we're going to talk about you again, and you didn't wreck it this time. You got close, but great job. More contact here, Noble and Luna. Bouncing into each other's doors in turn 3. Luna's going to try to get a launch off of turn 4. Gets to the right rear quarter panel. Going to try to attempt at least one more set of corners to make this pass happen. And this is a battle for 14th and 15th, respectively. And it looks like Noble's going to get the better of the two.
Yeah, and then you see Dave Mateo get loose coming off of turn 2 there. So, Jeremy, these drivers are struggling right now. The handling of these trucks is starting to go away as this track heats up more and more. But I tell you what, I mean, don't tell these drivers that they're racing for 13th and 14th and 15th, because you would think that they're racing for podium right now. And that's what I love about this league is these drivers give 110% from drop of the green flag to the drop of the checkered flag. It doesn't matter what position. When they finish in a position, they have earned that position. They will battle it day in and day out. But I tell you what, nobody has got anything for that man right there. Driver of the 65, Chad McGinley, right now. Not out to as big as a lead as what he had been. He was out to over a 4-second lead prior to the green flag pit cycle starting. But right now, Jeremy, he doesn't have that commanding of a lead, but he's got breathing room right now between himself and the 12 of Joshua Slade.
A little bit of breathing room that last lap by. Joshua Slade gained 1/10. Put himself back underneath 1 second difference. This time at the line, we're going to see what that split looks like. Back to 1.067. So the advantage this lap on lap 93 goes to the 65 of McGinley. So Joshua Slade has changed up his driving style. He's maintaining pace. He just needs one more caution to get back to his bumpers. More trucks heading off that turn 2 wall, Dustin.
Oh, yeah, there's a good battle going on from 3rd through 6th right now, Jeremy, between these 4 trucks. So you got Mike Hayes in the 1. Austin McGill has fallen back to 4th place there with Mike Hayes taking up the 3rd place. Bobby Mantle's fallen back to 5th, and then you got no, it's not even Justin LeBlanc. That's actually the 54, who is still hanging. He's not currently on the lead lap, but still hanging, and that's Brody Marinko right now, who we've seen have that big-time wall impact with the right front there after getting loose, and the 13 is Stephen Hayes not having anywhere to go, but these 3 drivers right here are really duking it out as well for that 3rd spot.
5 laps to go to we're at 100 laps in the books. As we're just outside 60 laps to go. That pit window, you're going to see it just past the lap 100, maybe 103. So we're within 10 laps of people starting to come down pit road for their final green flag pit stop of the evening. And if we load up the iRacing iFlag track map, we're going to take a look at exactly what 50 laps of green flag action looks like here at the 1.25 mile Worldwide Technology Raceway. A lot of guys in 1 and 2 right now. A little more spaced on the back straightaway through 3. And there's a big gap there to the trucks that are going into turn 1 and on the front stretch right now.
Yeah, I would say easily 2/3 of this track is taken up by trucks spaced out all over the place. And this is, like you said, it's a product of that long green flag run. You know, some drivers will utilize their tires a little bit more. Some will try to save. You know, spacing will happen. I mean, if you look at our 2 leaders right now, our 1st and 2nd place, I mean, McGinley and Slade, I mean, they have a very comfortable lead, almost an entire full corner. If we look off the back of Slade, that next truck back there, that's actually not even for that position. It's actually further back that is actually for position. So they have a very comfortable spacing right now. That's the driver that's right behind there on the screen is actually the 57 of Ron Harrington right now. He's slotted in the 22nd position. So some of these drivers, they have that long run setup, Jeremy, and it shows that McGinley and Slade have got that long run setup. But you see these other packs of drivers that I mean, their setups aren't bad, but they're battling. You know, you have McGinley and Slade that don't have any competition right now. They're kind of on an island of their own, but all these other drivers are battling with other drivers right now. And that increases tire wear, that slows down their lap times, and that's where those big gaps come in.
Oh, 99 McGill.
Oh!
Save it. Oh, no. He gets hit in the rear kind of hard as the bumper clip does fall off of McGill.
No
that was
caution.
the 89 of Bobby Mantle that hit the back bumper of Austin McGill there. No caution, as you said, as he his bumper reappeared on the back and then fell off once more. But here we go. Turn 1 and 2. Gets loose on that. It looks like he lifted to avoid Michael Hayes. Got the truck upset, spun out right in front of Bobby, had nowhere to go. Hits him in the rear end.
That was a 54 of Marinko actually tagged him.
He's 2 laps down, so not really impacted by that. But man, that sends 99 into pit road, which pit road was about to open up. So technically close to being scheduled.
Yeah, but he can't make it on that. That's the only downside. I mean, he's got extra repair, but the downside to it is he cannot make it. He's going to have to stop again to top off. That's 60 laps, Jeremy. I mean, even on a conservative run, 52, maybe 54, that's about it. But 60 is going to be out of the question.
Yeah, that is true. 60, 61 laps remaining. You're going to have to really feather that throttle the entire rest of the race, or you just have to suck it up and come down pit road once more. But he's still on pit road, so there's some more damage to be had to the 99 than what maybe we had thought. So 2 guys new to the league to having a rough entry into the Global Sim Racing Truck Series on Sunday as we're kind of cycling through once more. There's Stephen Hayes in the 13. He's always a very interesting pick around the tracks that we go to. We've seen him flip over and continue. We've seen him do some crazy stuff. And what was it? Was it Bristol that he flipped over?
Yeah, he flipped over at Bristol and was able to get back on his wheels, came in for some repair, and was still able to be competitive. At one point in time, he actually took the lead after he had flipped that very truck. So that's why that was dubbed the "What a Burger, What a Flip" truck. So we've seen this guy do some real crazy stuff. We've seen a lot of the drivers do some crazy stuff. So a lot of talent in this Global Racing Truck Series.
100%. 89, Bobby Mansell, the other person involved in that wreck just a few laps ago, comes down pit road. Now, lap 103, that's still going to put him, it's closer, but it's still going to be outside that fuel window. So he was a little off the pace, gave up his position on the track. That's going to move Michael Hayes to 3rd, Justin LeBlanc 4th. Abram Ghostin puts himself in the top 5 for the first time tonight.
Yeah, and again, very quiet run. Like you said, Jeremy, we hadn't talked about Abram all that much. And he's just very, very stealthy-like, just slowly working his way up and has cracked the top 5 now. He plays his cards right. He's going to have a solid debut race here for the Global Racing Truck Series as long as he keeps going. I mean, he's up there with some good names. I mean, top 5, you got McGinley, Slade, Hayes, and LeBlanc. Every one of those has been a race winner this season. So he's in good company right now in that top 5.
He's in very good company there. As a pit cycle is about to happen for everybody else, I'm going to do a quick shout out. This time to our home product, Nerd Swag. If you head yourself over to nerditudes.gg/Nerd Swag, you get your look at our custom apparel from Martin Sports. Whether if you want the best sim racing gloves in the world, or if you want a customized jersey, from our long sleeve jackets to short sleeve team jersey. Got a couple extra nerdy things in there, of course. Can't have product from us unless it's nerdy. So you got the shirtitudes, and then you got some hats as well. And so just head on over to nerditudes.gg/nerdswag. You super nerd at checkout. You get that same discount code you would get at Scott Martin's, martinsports.gg. It's going to save you a good chunk of money, 25% off your entire purchase.
Yeah, it's again a promotion code that is not matched by any other apparel company on the market whatsoever. So excellent products by everybody, by Scott and Sue and the entire Martin family over at Martin Sports. They do a phenomenal job, and we have been blessed and pleased to have them as our longest running partner for the Nerditude. So definitely go and check out what they have.
Yeah, 100% there. We saw some pit road entries this last time by. Saw the 57. Here's the 46 on Minor. He's down pit road on lap 106. Slow truck on the front stretch, Dustin. I don't see a caution out for him. Really slow there. That's the 33 of Ronald Holmes. I'm not sure what's going on with his machine, but he's he doesn't have any steering.
He's got no steering. What happened to the 33?
The right front's disconnected.
Yeah, his right front is gone. And this will bring out a caution because he cannot get it down. He was trying to get it down to the inside there and is not able to. That's an unfortunate. And Ron is just going to give us more crap here, Jeremy. You know he is. We got to back it up to see exactly what happened on this one here because he was slowed down the entire front stretch.
Well, we rewound a lot of footage there to find what happened in turn 4. Is there contact? There is contact.
There is contact there from the 12 of Joshua Slade, and it just upset the 33. He tried to save it. You see that dog walk back and forth. You see it even gets the 12 upset. And, heavy contact to the inside wall there from the 33. Yeah, that was unfortunate on that one there, Jeremy. That was hard contact for that driver there. We're going to go deck lid here. You're going to see it real time. Oh, yeah, definitely contact right there. Hard, too. Man, that was a hard bump.
Yeah, it almost looked like Ronald didn't get on the gas as early as Joshua Slade does. Now, Joshua's got a much faster truck, so it's just odd to see him be 2+ car lengths behind entering turn 3 and then just drive through the right rear portion of the 33's rear bumper. But that's going to set the pace for everyone to come down pit road and just regather it back up, as we had hardly, I think maybe, a fifth of the drivers in this race come down pit road before that caution?
Yeah, it was a small amount. The pit cycle had just started on that one there, so you're going to have a couple drivers are going to be at the tail end of the lead lap. They'll get the wave around with 1 to go. But yeah, Jeremy, that's the unfortunate thing when you have lead lap drivers, and Ron Holmes had just got put 1 lap down by his teammate Chad McGinley prior to that incident taking place there. So that was an unfortunate bit of events, but definitely heavy damage there. And he's not going to be able to come back from that, Jeremy. His right front was disconnected. He had heavy left front damage. That's going to be all she wrote for the driver of the 33.
100%. We're going to take it to our second picture-in-picture commercial break as we're going to regroup for the restart here for the third or fourth time this evening. We'll be right back. back to full screen just for the right time. Whether this restart happening on lap 113. Chad McGinley on the inside, Joshua Slade on the outside. Your two fastest trucks here this evening. And looks like the 65 being the control truck, able to get that 2-truck length advantage over Joshua Slade again on turn number 1. Everybody else 2 by 2 as they get the 2 turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, this is where it's going to get hairy, Jeremy. We got fresh tires. That means fresh tires are not up to pressure. They're not up to temp either. And that can get real bad, especially going through that very tight turns 1 and 2. But it looks like they about get everything cycled out. Just a couple more 2 by 2 battles right now. You've got Stephen Hayes on the inside of the 22 of Abram Ghostin right now. Those two kind of duking it out. You see Luna on the inside of Noble. Those two haven't left each other for a while. So, again, the 24 and the 88 battling it out. Kind of takes you back to when Gordon and Junior were duking it out all the time, too. So, kind of a nice little reminiscence of that.
Love me some Gateway racing here, man. This just, I know they call it Worldwide Technology, but you're never going to take Gateway out of my lingo.
It's Gateway.
It's forever Gateway. I think I saw Tyler swipe the wall slightly. You got Stephen Hayes on the inside here. He's battling the 20 truck. This is for basically the top 5 as your 2 leaders breaking away. Everybody else 2 by 2 by 2 still as they cross the line to complete lap 114. And yeah, this is why we love this track. Look at this, 2 laps into a restart. We're still 2-3 wide, dashing it out here, door to door, tagging each other. We got trucks spinning in the back. We got everything in between. Danny White, great save.
Wow,
JJ
Danny
McCoy almost
White.
Man, we need an onboard of the 22, JJ McCoy. He probably needs to change his racing suit after this one.
That was, that was nuts. We're going to sit here and go full speed. You're going to see Danny White get loose coming out of turn 2, and he locks it down and realizes he's doing that same thing where he's going up, so then he turns it down at the last second. Wow. No caution. We still stay green, but speaking of this, I mean, we're on board right now with the 22. Man, McCoy is slotted way deep in that field. He had been running up in the top 5. He's back in 16th right now, Jeremy.
Yeah, we didn't actually see what happened to him. I don't know if that was just bad pit call strategy or I don't know. I did not get any sign of saying what happened to him, but when you're in the back, things happen, and that's the second time Danny White's had to really lock things down. And that move right there, contact to the back there. Looks like 1 truck, maybe 2. I think it was the 14 of Clayton White, and right behind him the 46 of Minor potentially. That's 89 Bobby Mantle. Still hitting the wall some more, involved in a couple incidences here this evening.
Yeah, a lot of drivers, they're pitted deep in that field right now, Jeremy, and it's places that they haven't been most of the night. I mean, you talk about J.J. McCoy, Clayton White had actually been up into the top 10. He's further back now in 11th. Bobby Mantle back in 12th right now, so these drivers here now slotted further back. Brad Minor was actually further up in the top 10 as well. He's slotted back in 13th. So now these drivers have to deal with traffic, and they're finding out now that traffic, I mean, Jeremy, we only have 43 laps left in this race. Or 53 laps left, rather. 52 now. That, wow, what happened to Clayton White off that corner?
14, really slow, turn 4 at the bottom half of the track. Trying to figure out what happened to him, and just got really loose, and then they're to 3 and 4, and had to collect it way down there on the inside lane. So thankfully he did not hit anything, but he lost 3 or 4 positions on that front straightaway last time. Now we're looking at the 85 LeBlanc, the 13 of Stephen Hayes. This is for 4th and 5th on the track. Michael Hayes in the 1 for top 3. So you're not battling for 1st or 2nd. Those guys are gone. They're in a whole different zip code. But right now, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, anyone has a chance at this final podium spot.
Absolutely. I mean, you see that whole line, Jeremy. I mean, these trucks are nose to tail all the way down, taking up essentially 2/3 to 3/4 of that whole back straightaway there that we were looking at. Lovely shot there by the cameraman there off into turn 3. But the battling's gonna get pretty dicey, Jeremy. So like I said, we had like 51, 52 laps left. The question is, are these drivers gonna have enough to go? I mean, some of those laps were ran under caution. They could conserve. But it's going to be pretty close, Jeremy. I mean, this could turn into a fuel mileage race before we really know it, especially if it stays long green flag run. You could see drivers that are going to have to come down for a splash and go.
Yeah, when I got that restart, I kind of questioned in my head if people can make it. And if it looked like around 50, 55 was that window, which would put them right at the end of the race. If there is that green-white checker, and you know for sure every single driver will be pitting for fuel once more, if there's not another caution between now and the end of the scheduled 160 laps of this 200-mile event. You see the 22/25. We're gonna get that fixed for next week, but a little loose there to turn 1. Now it's gonna let EJ Luna look to the inside of this number 25 Abram Ghosted. This is for 7th and 8th place.
Yeah, side by side, but I tell you what, Abram Ghostin's still holding strong on that outside. You can get that excellent run, though, off of 4, running that high side like that, and that's why it's so tough to pass in 3 and 4, unless you can really pinch that driver up a little bit more. Usually, again, that passing zone is going to be in 1 and 2 to really try to get that run in or run off, but on fresh tires, Jeremy, it's so tough to pass coming out of 4, especially with that driver on that high side. They just get that phenomenal run.
Yeah, if you can do it just right and straighten up your exit, it really pays off. You see one truck way up there running that Ryan Blaney run, lying wait. Oh, never mind that. I think it's the 44 Bradley Minor.
No, 44 Mark Sherwood.
Sorry, that's the Bradley Minor that just passed him. I should know that by now. Mark Sherwood hits the wall. He really widened out turn 3 and 4. I thought he was going to do exactly what you're talking about, getting that great launch off exit, but he widened out too much, found the marbles, and hit the wall.
Yeah, and that's what you got to be careful about, and that's what we talked about in the Martin Sports pre-race show was that, I mean, you can get that run on that high side, but you have to be careful because that outside wall sneaks up on you. You can see it from that angle right there. There is that safer barrier that extends that wall a lot further than what a lot of drivers actually realize that it extends it. I mean, it adds in an extra like 1.5 foot, 2 foot off of that wall. And if these drivers aren't careful, that's what they're pinging off of. If that safer barrier wasn't there, right there, you see it in the shot, they would be all right. But I mean, that serves a valid purpose in real life to soften the impact on it. But right now, Jeremy, it's playing chaos right now for these drivers here in the Global Truck Series.
Yeah, if you were to build a new track, you could change the curvature on how the corner exits to not have that just random bulge there that kind of shortens up your corner exit. You had a space there 10, 15 years ago, and now you don't. And so if you're not thinking about it, sometimes you just hit it. And if you have a new track, you can reconfigure it to where it's not just so random. But cycling back through the field here, so we're looking at the 25. Abram Ghostin still holding on to 7th place, 88 right behind him. Curtis Noble in 9th, Bobby Mantle in 10th. And you got a little bit of a gap between him and the 11th place truck of the 23, Anthony Emmerich. So the new names still holding on strong to their top 10. We did see Steven Smith. He did back out of the session. So did Austin McGill. And J.J. McCoy has disconnected as well. Dustin continued problems from the 22. Not finishing this race.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for the 22 team. They had a rocket ship. They were doing very well. Just unable to rebound back from whatever put him so deep in the field on that last restart. But somebody who has been able to rebound, Jeremy, the driver of this number 20 Toyota Tundra TRD right now, Tyler Honeycutt, is rebounded just outside the top 5 right now. Remember, he was involved in that lap 2 or lap 3 incident where he had that save, and then the chaos ensued, and he ended up going for a little cycle spin there, around and around, and he's been battling all race long and is about to crack the top 5 if he can chase down the 13 of Stephen Hayes.
Yeah, this is where it's going to get very, very tough to pass these trucks. You see him pushing up the turn 1 entry, not really getting down on the corner exit like you would want. And so he's just struggling a little bit of a tight handling truck right now.
Well, look at that truck, Jeremy.
It's pretty beat up, though.
That truck looks like a truck that has been at 200 laps at Bristol right now at the rate it's going. So, I mean, it has seen its time at this track here, and it's showing its battle scars.
Well, thinking of Battle Scars. Fifth caution presented by Boomer Button Boxes is out. And you're quick on the button for this one. You know exactly where it happened. It looks like it's going to evolve either the 88 or 89.
It's going to be Mantle. Oh!
And he just gets crossed up. Noble just drives it down deep. Inside turn 4. Hits Mantle, and they're both going to hit the wall. 88 or 89. And, yep. Boom.
Right there. Side
Off
impact.
two wheels.
Oh, that's tough there. Man, I don't know, Jeremy. That's a tough one. You know, coming through the corner like that, the way that they did. I mean, it's just, you know, 88 and Noble is just arcing his corner. The 89 is, you know, letting that truck just drift up there like what we normally would. And
after that second angle there, I think 89 just washed up a little bit. I think he barely touched the curbing and just came up. But the same token, Curtis Noble, remember, new driver to the league, and some people just drive trucks a little differently. And so let's see if he touches this curbing. Yeah, just a touch.
Just a touch.
But at the same time, Curtis is coming down the track, so it's just kind of a, complete racing incident right there.
Yeah, well, and the thing is I think 89 and Mantle was expecting Noble to go up towards the wall, which would have given Mantle more room to come off and hit the center of the track. At the angle they were going where Noble was at, Mantle would have had literally to hug the bottom of the track, even down next to that wall. I mean, there wasn't much space that was down there, unfortunately. And that's just a product of racing, not knowing other drivers' lines there. But, Jeremy, one thing this will do, do you see everybody hitting pit road? Fuel mileage is not going to be an issue for this race.
Yep, not going to be an issue anymore.
Well,
maybe it's going to go down to the wire.
One driver stayed out, Jeremy. One driver.
Well, I mean, fuel mileage with the caution is okay. But the tires, this track eats virtual Goodyears for a living. And to have the 20 stay out here, and that means he's not going to go down pit road. Confirmed, you're going to stay out as your race leader. Chad McGinley's in second, Dustin. There is no chance for this 20 to finish inside this top 5, just with the amount of tire wear he has on that 20 truck. If you want to kick up the pit road stats, they're on the upper half of your screen. Right there, you see the lap count. 22 laps is the number.
Yeah, and the thing is they're all showing 22, but it should change right now, and everybody else's should actually have a little sliver to the right of theirs because they have new tires on that because they come down pit road.
Yeah, it's tough to tell on lap 1, but there is a tiny blue sliver there.
Yep.
23 laps now for Honeycutt.
Yep. So I agree. It's a bold call, Cotton. Bold call, but with the fresh tires here, he's gonna get eaten alive. I understand why he did that. He's trying to maximize that track position, which is ever so vital here, not being back there in traffic. But I don't know how hard he ran the tires that he has. And every driver behind him is super hungry right now. And guess what? They don't have to worry about how hard they ran their tires because they've got fresh tires.
18 viewers live on YouTube. Still thanking you guys all for jumping in here. This is going to be an excellent finish here as we're going to have a restart with 25 or 26 laps remaining in this Worldwide Battle 200. And shout out to all of our partners that don't have a live commercial for us. Victory Fuel, official hydration partner for the Nerditudes. Load of electrolytes, absence of caffeine, and low sugar content, which makes it a perfect drink to keep you hydrated and energized. No artificial colors, and packed with daily vitamins, so it's going to support your health. Plus, kids can have it with that no caffeine content. There's nothing wrong with it to share with your youngins that's in your household. So if you want to taste victory, head yourself over to drinkvictory.com, promotion code SUPERNERD. It's going to save you 10% off your purchase. This month, they are releasing Purple Potion. That's their third flavor in their lineup. And I'm not sure the exact day, so that's why you need to put that in your bookmarks on your browser. Keep up to date when that flavor releases.
Yeah, and also for any viewers out there that have a Hy-Vee near your local area, go to drinkvictory.com and take a look to see what Hy-Vee stores are selling, as they have just worked out a partnership with Hy-Vee on a trial period. So in order to keep it there close by, so you don't have to order it online, go and buy up all the stock of Victory Fuel at your local Hy-Vee.
That's a convenient call out because we're in Illinois for this race, and Hy-Vees are
Absolutely.
all over this track. So, but we're going back to green flag here on lap 135. We're going to see how far this 20 truck just falls back. He's going to jump the start, not literally, but he's going to get the race control. So he's going to slide up into P1 momentarily.
Here
Chad
we go.
McGill's going to do the crossover. And just like that, oh, was that contact between the 88 and the 12?
It was.
Tell.
Yes, it was.
And there goes Honeycutt back to third. He's going to slip back and
Oh,
block.
big block.
Huge block.
Big
Still blocking.
block.
Oh, man. No.
Wow.
There they go.
Whoa. And there
And
goes
just
McGinley.
Like that, McGinley in the wall slaps it with the driver's side of his 65. Not much damage there, but, you know,
This
is one of those things where if you're going to put the block on, you better expect what's to come.
Yeah, and that was, I mean, we have to back this up more to see this, because this was a big block coming out of the corner by the 65 of McGinley. You see he's on the high side. The 12 of Slade gets a run. He puts a big block on. Slade's still going low. And McGinley, Slade's trying to push him back up, saying, hey, I'm here. And the corner, the track's not going to extend because those drivers are running side by side and not giving room. And the corner just came up and got him. And that's unfortunate because the 65 of McGinley, he definitely had a rocket ship tonight. And that's going to put him further back. And with an unknown, we don't know the type of damage that's on that truck.
And I was really impressed there with Joshua Slade's wherewithal of his bumper spacing, right? Down the back straightaway. He was laying into that left rear of the 65 without wrecking him. It took him all the way to the entry of turn 3 and then some before they finally, they get to the corner, and that's where things have to come to an end. But during the straightaway part, like literally inside his fender and not turning him. So he cut that super close. But then when you do something like that, you're focused on not trying to turn the person, but then miss the braking point coming into 3 because of that. And that's ultimately what happened there in that corner.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate. It is. It's a product of knowing the laps are coming down. And that's why when you block, you take certain risks when you do that. And that's why, Jeremy, it's all of us in Nerd Esports, when we run a league event or anything else, we try to refrain from blocking as much as possible, because we know, hey, whatever, if they got the line, take it. I'm going to just come back and pass you in a lap anyway, and I'm going to set it up. It is what it is. But, it's like that's that short track mentality right now, and that's what's going on. If this league actually allowed voice comms right now, I guarantee you, between all drivers, those voice comms would probably be getting lit up right now. I have to say the Grim Reaper Motorsports voice channel is probably just lit right now on that one. So we'll have to see what happens, Jeremy. But that's tough racing. That's no different than what would happen at a short track. And we talked about this. This is kind of that weird blend of your mile and a half blended with a short track. So it has a lot of aspects of that, and it's driven very similar.
Yeah, no, it really is. If it was high banked, it would not be the case. But since it is flatter, especially in 3 and 4, you kind of have to have that mentality with it. And we've seen a lot of close racing, but finally things come to an end on that with your 2 race leaders. The 12 of Joshua Slade remains now P1. Tyler Honeycutt somehow didn't lose any more positions. He's still going to be restarting this race in 2nd place. That 65 Chad McGinley fell all the way back to your last truck on the lead lap, 16th place. But he's got a fresh set of good years now, Dustin.
Yeah, and you better believe that 65, as long as that truck is handling somewhat adequate, because, McGinley's a solid driver. He could drive a truck that's ill handling anyway. As long as it's handling somewhat decent, you better believe he's going to be cutting through this field pretty fast, trying to get back up to that lead. And, he's got minimal laps to do it, Jeremy, so he's going to have to make quick work of these drivers as fast as possible on the way up and as clean as possible. He's got to be careful of the break points, He's got to be careful of the dive-ins. You know, he's got to make his calls split second, and they've got to be spot on.
I can't tell from your camera angle, but I almost feel like that left front tire is pushed in. And there we go, drone camera right away. That thing looks like it's turning to the right a little bit, does it not?
Hey, could be, actually, yeah. I mean, it kind of does. But, I mean, again, these guys run custom setups. I wouldn't believe that they'd be running that much caster or camber in these tires, because it just seems like it would be just wearing on it. So I don't know if that's from the damage or if that's from the actual custom setup that they're running in there. That's a tough call, Jeremy. I guess the only time's going to tell, you know, when we actually get back to green flag and that truck gets under a full load, you know, going through these corners.
Yeah, it'd be hard to tell. If it is the case, not in the right spot, it's going to cause a lot of tire wear on that left front side. We're going to resume this race. 21 laps to go. Joshua Slade going to take P1, Honeycutt. And the number 20 is going to be starting in second place. Remember, he's on the old set of tires, still electing to stay out. And here we go. Great start from the inside. Justin LeBlanc timed it perfectly with Joshua Slade. He's going to pass the number 20 before getting to turn number 1. 2 wide, sorry, for 4th and 5th place. That's the 88 and the 1. 3 wide on back a little bit further. Contact to the outside from another yellow spoiler. Oh, here we go, right to the cutout. No, heavy hit there from the 95 Schilling. And we stay.
No caution, no caution. That's a tough break. We're gonna have to rewind that one back a little bit. That was a tough break on that. Oh, and it looks like he got into the 65 as he was coming up. Yeah, he sat here and just slightly drifted up a little bit. There's a little bit of a bobble that put him right there by the 65. More damage for the 65. Not what McGinley was wanting.
Oh. Sorry, we got a caution. 7 times presented by Boomer Button Boxes. Sorry to cut you off there, but Mark Sherwood in the 44 this time off of turn 2. Oh, you see it right there. Quick to the buttons and right to the action. Nice job on your end, co-producing and broadcasting with me. And yeah, I got loose, got clipped, sent him around all the way for a nice little 360. But that will bring out the 7th caution.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, though. Good recovery, though, by the 44 as we take another look. You see he's already loose here. Cuts right across the nose of the 89 of Bobby Mantle and loops it around. You see all the other trucks coming on board, but he does a quick 360, regains it back up, and takes off. Off into the sunset.
Dustin, I'd like to note it on lap 20, we had, I think, 3 or 4 yellow spoilers in the top 5. Now, on lap 142, the first one to be found, I think, is in 13th place, and that is that 89. So, massive troubles here from Grim Reaper. But it brings in other teams into the picture. Joshua Slade continuing to carry 101 Motorsports, leading this race right now. Then you have Justin LeBlanc currently in second place. He and his team of Lone Star Racing. Excellent run from them. Then you got Ghost Motorsports in third. 4th place, Lone Star again in the 13, and then Ghost again in top 5 at the moment. So someone maybe other than Lone or One of One or Grim Reaper might take home a checker flag here this evening.
Yeah, it very well could be, Jeremy. As you see that Chad McGinley back down pit road to the service of his crew. I would imagine trying to repair the damage to the right side of that truck after wall banging it there after the contact with the 95. Tough break for the 65 crew. But Jeremy, I mean, it like you said, it opens up different possibilities. I mean, if the 85 of Justin LeBlanc can sit here and get a jump like what he did last time, and a good start, at least a start that is, comparable to that of Slade. I mean, he possibly could have a chance to nab his second win of the season. But you can't count out the other drivers back there. Mike Hayes, he's won this season. He's got a dub under his belt right now. He's hungry. He's going to be starting right behind Joshua Slade on that inside line. You got Stephen Hayes back there. Again, we talked about it. We've seen that driver do some amazing things. You can't count him out. And I don't know how Tyler Honeycutt is still holding on to a top 5 right now on old tires. I mean, this man is on older tires, and we're talking 22 lap older tires than everybody else. And he's still holding on. He's slowly falling back, but Jeremy, he's still holding strong. I mean, you got to give some credit where credit's due right now.
He's taking a little bit of that, the benefits from the cautions, but outside of that, yes, doing a great job. Still inside this top 5. As we're going to be restarting around 146, it'll be a 15-lap shootout to the end. Quick correction on my part, this will be maybe the second win from either Ghost Motorsports or Lone Star Racing. They both have one checkered flag for each of their camps, so this might be the second win for one of them. If they can defeat this number 12 that's in front, Ghost Energy driver Joshua Slade, who is just him, and the 65 up to this point had been putting on a hell of a show amongst them two alone. But now, since the McGinley truck is currently out of the picture for the race victory, this might be a one truck battle by themselves for P1. But this second place through 5th, Dustin, this is going to be a hell of a show in this final 15 laps.
Oh, for sure. I mean, we're going to be on for a good finish here, which is not to be. I mean, it's to be expected at this track. That's what this track does. We talked about this track, that short track mentality. Another track that comes into play, Jeremy, is in New Hampshire. I mean, as flat as 3 and 4 are, I mean, this track has aspects of like so many other tracks, and you get so many different driving styles and temperaments that you have to come in here. You have to drive certain parts of it like a short track, certain parts like a speedway, certain parts like a flat track like New Hampshire. I mean, it's crazy, and it always poses great finishes, whether it's real life or whether it's on the simulation.
100% here, half a lap left. And will we see another caution, or will we see great racing all 15 laps remaining in this Worldwide Battle 200 at the virtual Worldwide Technology Raceway? Joshua Slade's going to have a decent start here, can be in the control truck and being one of the fastest ones out here. But it's up to LeBlanc to time the restart once more, this time side by side with the 12, not right behind him. Michael Hayes, if he could jump the start here with the 12, he might put himself in a great chance to finish second place in this race. We're going to find out. Green flag is out right now. The 85 does it again. Pretty decent start. But Michael Hayes and the 1's going to try to make an attempt at the bottom here. Jumps it with the 12 perfectly. Side by side for second place.
Yeah,
Third, fourth.
Ooh.
Contact.
Yeah, side by side they were there until the contact from LeBlanc to the wall. That's going to move Stephen Hayes up to P3, right behind his brother Mike Hayes. So the Hayes boys trying to sit here and do some battling. And look at this, Tyler Honeycutt battling the 85 of LeBlanc. Again, 22 lap older tires. Still trying to duke it up in battle right there. Still holding in the top 5. But Jeremy, look at this gaggle we have going on back here. Almost a 3-wide situation. 3-wide going in. Are they going to stick it? They do stick it somehow.
Man.
Wow.
Bradley drove it in deep, put him in a really tough 3-wide position, and thankfully no one wrecked on that occasion. We're still 3-wide, 4-wide almost here going to turn 3. We've not seen this work prior. They go to 2-wide right before the corner entry. Man, crazy stuff here this lap.
Oh yeah, these drivers are not leaving anything out for guessing at this point in time. Right now, Slade is commanding this. Hayes is trying to chase him down. That's the one of Mike Hayes. Stephen Hayes is trying to chase down his brother. As we got a lot of shuffling going on back here. Looks like the 14 of Clayton White goes down, passes Honeycutt. Honeycutt now under pressure from Curtis Noble. Noble will take that position. Honeycutt falling back as he tries to crossover back on the inside of Noble.
20 is still hanging on where he can. 5th place last time by. He's going to hold it this time around. Excellent job here. No, he fell back to 7th. I apologize. 7th place is still doing an excellent job regardless. But top 3 right now. The Hayes brothers, right? Michael and Steven. 1 in the 13. 2nd and 3rd place. This will be pretty cool if they can both get here in the podium this evening.
Yeah, it would definitely be the first time. We have interviewed each one individually, but never at the same time in the podium, and they are gearing up to possibly do that. 12 laps to go, 11 as they cross this time, Jeremy, and look at the battle back here. You've got people diving down 3-wide again. Jeremy, these guys know that the time is ticking.
Man, Looked like Bobby really wanted to push the issue, but Danny White closing out.
No!
Oh, Honeycutt spins. Your 8th caution presented by Boomer Button Boxes is out. This is going to bring in quite a few. EJ Luna, 20th Honeycutt, of course. Maybe Ron Harrington, the 57, and there's a couple others. But we're going to take a couple angles at this one. This is probably the biggest strike this evening.
Yeah, easily the biggest one here, and you're going to see right now, this, I believe, is after it's already happening. Yeah, you already see the Tyler Honeycutt is spinning right now. Luna trying to break it down, gets into the back of Ghost in there. Unfortunate on that one there. Yeah, had more help that was going on from the 23 right there. So again, tough break. Trying to lock it down. You see all those tires locked up. He's trying to lock it down, trying to slow it up, not to come back up. And yeah, he locks it down, seeing there's a truck up high, and it was already too late on that one.
Yeah, the 65 McGinley had no idea how the closure rate was from the 25 truck, and got into the back of EJ Luna, sent him in there. The 54, however, Brody, he gets pushed up there as the 24 comes back up the track. Gonna put him with a little bit of left front damage on that 54. As we're gonna kick it back once more and get another couple angles at this thing.
Yeah, we're gonna go back and we're gonna go up here to Tyler Honeycutt. We're gonna see exactly what happened. Almost 3 wide going in. He's on the top side here, Jeremy, and it looks like he might have just started getting loose, Jeremy. Those old tires come in, and unfortunately they were 2 wide behind him. Collects the 46 a minor. A little bit of contact with the 89 a Mantle. Mantle does squeak by though. But that was an unfortunate thing. You see the contact there between McGinley and Luna. Luna and the 23. You see the 44 Sherwood got a shot from the 54, which got him through it, but unfortunately got the 54 involved. Unfortunate turn of events here.
Yeah, it's just a lot of stuff going on late in the going. A lot of damaged trucks. Most of them did come down pit road to get their service done once more. And so this will lead us into a really short restart, Dustin. Right now we're going to cross the line for lap 153. Probably won't go green flag next time. We'll see if they do call that or not. If they do, we'll restart this thing with 7 to go. If not, it'll be a 6-lap restart to the finish. And looks like we got the 1 and the 13. That's your second and third place truck. Now LeBlanc fell back a couple spots. He went from 2nd to 4th, and Clayton White, I think this is maybe the first, if not the second time he's put himself into the top 5 position.
Yeah, and he's made the right calls on pit road. He did an excellent pass there just before that caution came out, passing 2 trucks to get him into the top 5. He, as long as he can get a good restart, I mean, he could have a solid finish here. He could potentially get up there and race the Hayes boys for that one of those podium spots. But the question is Mike Hayes going to be able to get a good restart? I mean, we've seen LeBlanc match the restarts of Slade on a number of restarts so far. Unfortunately, LeBlanc got into the wall, kind of slid him back a little bit. But still in the top 5 is Justin LeBlanc in 4th. He's going to be starting 2nd row on the outside. This restart, Jeremy, is going to be so vital. If there was ever a restart that was the most important restart out of anything, it's going to be this one right here coming up, because this could make or break a driver's finish.
Yeah, so on that notion, the one Michael Hayes is going to need the best restart of his life. If he can match or get close to matching the speed of the 12, getting to turn 1 and driving in deep, he might have a chance to battle that 12 down the back straightaway. 13 of Hayes, Stephen Hayes, that is. He's in a tough spot because he's going to be 2nd place in line on the inside. I don't know how well his truck is rotating compared to the 1 or the 85. So that'll determine if he's going to be able to battle for 2nd. If not, try to keep LeBlanc at bay, because LeBlanc has a fast truck too. He might put himself into podium contention. We don't know about this 14. He's played the calls right, as you said, but we don't know what that speed looks like with clean air. So he might be a contender. So just a lot of unknowns well in the top 10.
Yeah, a lot of unknowns, but one thing is known, Jeremy. We're going to find out in 6 laps by the time it's done. That is, if it doesn't go to what we call is overtime, which is a possibility, especially with as hard as these boys have been racing. A little bit of blinking from the 12. Not what you want to see from your race leader, but it looks like he's stabilized back out. But Jeremy, this restart is going to be key. You see them bunching it up. That 1 is going to have to match that 12 and do everything he can to stay alongside of him going into turn 1. He cannot let him get out to a huge jump because he's not going to have the time to do it.
Man, that 12 truck just pressed the go button real fast. Able to clear the 1. They go single file first and second. Now third and fourth are duking it out there. Still nose to nose. LeBlanc's going to get the advantage off turn 2 exit. And he's able to clear the 13 of Hayes, the new person in the top 3 here, as they're going to race their way through 3 and 4 to get to the 5 to go.
Yeah, right now Slade up front. Right now he's got about a truck length separation between him and Mike Hayes. Mike Hayes doing everything he can, closing in on the 12. You see Slade trying to break that draft, not to allow him to pull up anymore. Jumps back up. Jeremy, 5 laps to go, and that 1 is coming.
Oh, as you said that, he gets wicked loose off of turn 2. He's going to give up 2 to 3 truck lengths as the 85 of LeBlanc's going to reel him in here. We see some 3 wide potentially going to the turn 3. Goes to 2 wide there. That's the 88 on top. And that's Curtis Noble, of course. Been very familiar on our screen this evening. Loose there by Danny White once more, who's just not had the best truck this evening.
Not had the best truck, but has fought his way back on the lead lap, Jeremy, and he's running P6 right now. This is all a battle for position right now. But Danny White trying to do everything he can to solidify a solid finish right now, which would be a stellar rebound. You see right now Mantle on the inside of Minor as they're battling it out right now for that 8th position. Mantle on the inside, Minor on the outside, close racing all the way through 3 and 4 as they're off turn 4 right now, Jeremy.
A little bit of smoke off the front straightaway. I think that was just slight wall contact. So we stay green. 3 laps to go. So just under 4 miles left in this event. And still we're racing. Oh, the 89 to 88. They've made contact prior. They're side by side down the back straightaway. 2.5 laps to go.
2.5 laps. I think Mantle's got it. He does. He makes that pass, dives it off into 3. Mark Mantle up to P7, but they are all still chasing that 12 of Joshua Slade. Looks like Mike Hayes has lost a little bit as he's fallen back, and here pretty soon he could fall into the clutches of the 85 of Justin LeBlanc as he's making a move up, trying to challenge for that P2.
The other Hayes, Stephen Hayes, fell back to 5th place. Clayton White has taken 4th place. So after that last caution, the 13 has dropped off significantly. Now here, we tried to make the pass effort. But Dustin, we're going to overtime. Your 9th Boomer button box's caution is out.
We are going to overtime. And here it is. It was right where we were watching that side-by-side battle. You see a little bit of a wobble there by the 46 of Minor as he got off the corner. Contact was made. And that was just enough to offset the balance of the 88 and recorrected right back down into the 46 of Minor.
Looked like that was just going to be a minor wreck, and then it turned major for the 88 and whoever else crossed over.
Yeah, I see what you did there. I see what you did there.
I don't know what you're talking about. That was the 95 was the third truck involved. Jason Schilling pushes himself and the 88 down into the infield of Curtis Noble. And overtime, baby, presented by TWRS, Team Watson Racing Setups. Proud sponsor for this overtime segment. And we're going to have a maximum of attempts of 3. This will be 1 of 3 in the books. 2 more times to do it if we have to. And can the 13 rebound, Dustin? He was in 3rd. He fell back to 5th. Clayton White's got a little bit of a faster truck than I expected. But can he then crack into 3rd place?
It's possible. I mean, if Clayton White plays his cards right, I think he can nab a podium finish here. He was chasing down the 85 of LeBlanc and the 1 of Hayes. I think he's got the speed. He just has to make the right calls. That's what it's going to be down, and it's going to have to be split second decision calls. But all I can tell you, Jeremy, is this is going to be wild. We're going to go green, white, checkered. So anything could happen. Again, Mike Hayes has got to have a stellar restart. He cannot have a restart like last time. Joshua Slade was quick on that throttle. He's got to be faster reacting. He has to stay side by side as much as possible with that 12 if he ever wants to have a chance to try to get by that 12 and battle for this dub.
I'm gonna amp the heat up a little bit here for this restart. Not like it's for the race win, but the 46, the 88, the 2 trucks that are involved in that wreck. The whole next lap, Bradley Minor put his truck right up to the 88 door panel, rev the engine at him, showing some displeasure. And they're going to be restarting in this next restart right next to each other in the field. So just something to maybe keep our eye out on for the 88 and the 46 to close out this event. But we see the pace laps are still on the truck, so we're going to go 2 more pace laps, and then we'll go green flag. But there's the 88, Curtis Noble. Welcome to the league, man. You got one of the veterans here, 46, Bradley Minor. I've been doing this for a little bit for the Global Sim Racing Truck Series, and new versus old here as far as this little battle here at the end.
Yeah, it's going to get interesting. Like I said, right now, your driver's nerves are on edge. And don't think for a second that the 12 of Slade is not running through multiple scenarios in his head. He's going through his timing. Hey, when am I going to hit the loud pedal? When am I going to go? You know, it's what if the one gets a comparable restart to my own? You know, how am I going to battle that? You know, what's going to happen? Same thing is playing through for Michael Hayes. I mean, you could say the same thing is playing through for at least the top 4 to top 5 right now, because anything could happen. You know, their fates right now are in the hands of the 2 leaders, you know, leading the inside and outside lane on how well they get going. If a driver doesn't get going very well, that's going to stack up that lane. You know, drivers are playing through in their head. You know, what am I going to do to try to not get held up by that to get the best finish? Drivers are on the edge right now, and they have probably more scenarios running through their head than Department of Homeland Security does for terrorist activity. You know, they're trying to think of everything they possibly can.
All the numbers are running in their heads, all the scenarios that could happen. Of course, you're not worried about tires at this point. You're not worried about fuel at this point. You're just worried about making the truck survive 2 more laps if we don't get another caution. And number 1, where do you restart? You got to play that game of chicken with the race leader. LeBlanc showed some great speed on these restarts. So we still have a lot of action ahead of us, even if it's just 2 laps potentially remaining, as long as we don't go green, white, checker for a second time. Really curious to see if anyone can do it with the 12. I don't think anything has for Joshua. It's just way too strong of a truck, but second on back. It is up to everyone, and we got 22 viewers currently. Appreciate you all still once more. Hopefully you enjoyed the race so far as we're going into overtime for the first time at the Worldwide Technology Raceway. And we're going to see the pace truck dip down the shortcut I would like people to take. But here we go. Restart's going to happen. Hitting that restart zone now. Anytime we'll see it. There it is. Green flag's out. The 12 of Joshua Slade gets a nice jump here. LeBlanc has a decent attempt as they go 4 wide, Dustin to turn 1 in the back.
Oh, and that's not going to... Oh, my gosh, they save it 3 wide still as they go. That was an excellent save by the 23. Yeah, how? How did he save that? That was a phenomenal save by the 23 of Anthony Emmerich.
Man, Bradley Minor picked up quite a few spots. Oh, contact 20 in the 24 in the 23. All the 20s involved. Clayton White, your top 4 truck. He's up into the outside wall. He's going to lose quite a few spots, but we get to the white flag presented by Elevated Esports Racing here. Side by side for 4th, 5th, and 6th place. Oh, the 14 going to plow the wall, coming across the track. Rex Mark Sherwood and a couple others. I think it might have been Chad McGinley, actually. But here we are. Here's your first, second,
It
and
was
third.
Chad McGinley. It was.
No, bad to worse for the 65. Man, that's just terrible. But here we are, the person that's not feeling terrible. Number 12, Joshua Slade, through turn 4 for the final time. And he's going to pick up yet another checkered flag for One of One Motorsports, the 4th win of the 2024 season.
What a wild finish, Jeremy. 3 and 4 wide on that last restart. I don't know how the 23 of Anthony Emmerich saved that thing, because that thing was so far sideways, it should have been lost and airmailed out to the next track. But he was able to save it and then Brad Miner comes through and picks up not one, not two, but like 3 positions. That was a crazy restart there. But, I mean, hats off to the 12 team. I mean, they had a stellar truck there, you know, all the way to the end. So, I mean, that was a tough race. This is a driver's track. This is a tough track.
Very tough, and a lot of shaking up in that top 10 through those final 10 laps or so when you got Lone Star Racing picking up second and third. But, man, this man in the 12 truck, excited to talk to him.
Oh, you're really going to talk to him?
McGinley's here.
We got beef. We got beef.
Arby's, we have beef. This reminds me of Denny Hamlin at Martinsville, right? When I forget who won that race, but Denny came on. I think it was Bowman. It was Alex Bowman. And that's where he called him the hack. So doing this very same thing Denny Hamlin did a few years back. But here we go. There's the burnout. And here's your unofficial results. Here tonight, presented by Martin Sports. Joshua Slade going to finish P1. Justin LeBlanc second place. Third place will be Stephen Hayes. Fourth, Bobby Mantle. Fifth, Danny White. Sixth will be newcomer Brody Marinko. And seventh place also, Jason Schilling. Eighth place, Amram Ghostin. These 3 guys, welcome to the league. Nice job on your top 10s. Ninth place, Bradley Miner. 10th place, Curtis Noble. 11th, EJ Lunam. 12th, Anthony Emmerich. Sorry about that. 13th, Ron Harrington. 14th, Michael Hayes. 15th, Mark Sherwood. 16th, Clayton White. 17th will be Chad McGinley. 18th, Tyler Honeycutt. And 19th on back will be 43 laps down or more. That'll be the 26th Dave Mateo, JJ McCoy, Ronald Holmes, Stephen Smith, Austin McGill, and I think Michael Dow was just here for race administration, but he technically did start and run a practice lap, so he does finish in 24th on the podium. We're going to kick it to full screen, commercial break, and gather up our top 3. We'll be right back. Welcome to the Martin Sports post race show, where we currently have our first place finisher. We're going to bring in third place there. Don't mind my camera. This is for Joshua Slade, but we're going to bring it over to Stephen Hayes, third place there in the Whataburger Chevrolet. How's it going, man? Congrats on P3.
Doing good. How you doing?
Hey, man, we're doing great up here in the booth. Excellent race overall. It was a lot of fun to watch. Your truck, you started eighth. You kind of held the top five decently, and then late in the going, you found yourself in third. And then the second to last restart, you fell back to fifth. I was like, oh no. Then at what point, how did you bring that thing back to third?
I honestly had no idea. I think God blessed me and somehow found my way up front with Mike spinning out and just getting a crucial pass on that restart really helped me. But yeah, I mean the car just, if I'm being honest, the car felt really bad all night driving it. Made a couple tweaks on the last pit stop that we did, and that really loosened up, freed it up. Was able to keep up, but it was just a good luck, I guess, on that last restart and the last run we had.
Yeah, 10-4 on that, man. Well, you and your teammate, second and third place, Lone Star, taking majority of the podium here. So unprecedented 3 hours of practice in this session. What did your team do to plan for tonight?
I mean, a lot of us are new to this track. Didn't really, I think two of us didn't have the track, so it was just kind of figuring out the line, making sure everybody else knows the line, breaking points, and just working as a team, sharing tips, and just trying to help each other out as much as we can. But I mean, yeah, the rest of the team did good. Justin got second. Danny got fifth. Not quite too sure about EJ and Mark, but I think Mark got dumped and EJ ran out of tires, so unfortunate for them. But yeah, we stayed strong as a team and locked out the top five with our remaining cars.
Well, great drive nonetheless, man. Way to bring it to P3 after up and down top 10 for you there. Floor is yours. Final thoughts before we let you go.
Yeah, it's great to be back up here in the broadcast after so many races, but it's just great to run in this league. Took over as owner last week with Michael Lester dropping down, so filling in a big role. But yeah, it's fun to race with these guys. We're rebuilding and trying to get a good league going. But yeah, shout out to my guys. I mean, it's fun racing with them, sharing notes, trying to figure out how to get faster, and just racing with them.
Well, yeah, 10-4 on that. And hopefully you can fill those shoes temporarily there, or whatever the case is going to be down in the future for the Global Sim Racing Truck Series. But congrats nonetheless on P3. We'll catch you next week.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Yes, sir. And that was the number 13, Stephen Hayes in that Whataburger truck getting a good finish here tonight. Now we're going to bring in second place. He did show up in the chat. So Justin LeBlanc in the 85. Congratulations on P2.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That Red Bull truck was pretty fast overall. He did excellent. Did a excellent job on these restarts, matching a lot of the time the race leader, and kind of kept you in that position. So what did you do starting in 10th place to find yourself in P2 tonight?
Yeah, definitely try to stay in the top 10 for sure. Try to keep that truck clean and really try to figure out lines because this track is so tricky. You got to really have the perfect line to try to save tires but still be fast, and wasn't too good in the first stint but managed to keep on going and slowly tightened up the truck to be able to give a run at the end.
Oh yeah, 10-4 on making that happen there. A lot of chaos. 9 cautions here tonight. You staying up front, able to miss the majority of it. So we had 3 hours of practice. I did ask your teammate Stephen Hayes, which congratulations, you guys second and third, taking majority of the podium tonight. But what did you do to prepare for tonight's race?
Really, I just try to put some fast laps to try to qualify as high as I could, but I really struggled with the qualifying set, so I just put on some tape with the race set and got me in the top 10. But now this track is honestly, you just need to manage the chaos and try to keep the tires under you.
Yeah, I believe that there. This track eats tires alive, so great job on managing those as well. And Everything, man. Nice job, P2. Floor is yours. Final thoughts before we let you go.
I'd like to give a shout out to everybody at Lone Star. I mean, we're starting to finally show our colors there, and in the start of the season, we were struggling a little bit, but hopefully we can manage to get some more podiums on the rest of the season. And everybody showed up tonight. It was a good race. And to the new guys, welcome to the league, and you guys in the booth for broadcasting. It's a hell of a race.
Yeah, absolutely. 5 new entries here tonight, I do believe, and they all did pretty well for the most part. So, that being said, congrats once more on P2 tonight. Hopefully, we'll be talking to you soon here in the next coming weeks. But go and celebrate with the team. Have a good night.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks, guys.
Yep, you're welcome. All right, that was Justin Blanc, second place finisher tonight. And now for the 4th time in 2024, we're going to talk to number 12, Joshua Slade. Joshua, welcome back to Victory Lane.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it. I had to work my ass off to get up here.
Yeah, man, that was you and Chad for the most part of this race, up there in the front, anyways. And I have to bring up that contact moment there. Big block by the 65. You drive it into turn 3, right onto his left rear quarter panel, and walk us through that lap.
Yeah. So basically, Chad doing Chad things, trying to pinch you down, like he did to me at Kansas, where he pinched me into the wall and ended my race for the win. So, when the same thing happens again, when he tries to pinch me down low, I'm just not going to go down low. And then he turns early and wrecks himself. So that's what happens. And he ruined his own race. But that Ghost Energy Zero Sugar truck was really fast today. And 1 of 1, we worked very hard this week. And shout out to Reaper, Speed Labs, and yeah, we brought a good truck out here this week.
He brought a very good truck. That thing was blistering fast, man. And you should go back and watch our interview on the YouTube side. I did bring out what I was planning 2 months ago, but hopefully you
I'm
enjoyed
looking at
it.
it.
You
I'm
are
looking at it. I'm looking
Sir.
at it. Yes. Yes. Homework completed. A plus. A plus on the
yeah.
homework. Oh my
Appreciate
gosh.
you, man.
I
He
had to
knew
have a
the
good finish
assignment.
if you're gonna wear that. Yeah. I had to have a good finish if you're gonna wear that, man.
Best time to break it out when you get P1 there. So, well,
Yeah,
good job, man. For sure. Like 4 wins, you got 1 more win, and you're going to be tying that 65 there. So it's just you two battling for the most victories for the 2024 season. So, good showing nonetheless as far as the overall season is playing out. And floor is yours, though. Final thoughts before we let you go.
Yeah, shout out to the new drivers. Shout out to you guys in the booth because great content again, A plus content this week. And yeah, global GRL is heading in the right direction. We're gonna expect more drivers in next week and expect the numbers and everything else to be corrected. But just shout out to everybody in the league. Again, shout out 101 Motorsports and all of our drivers and Reaper Speed Labs. So I appreciate it and thanks for having me.
Absolutely, man. Well, good job tonight. And we'll catch you next week.
All right, see you. See you later.
Yes, sir. And there he is, Joshua Slade. Interview done. A little beef there, but when you race close quarters with someone all season long, things just happen over time, Dustin, right? And you're not expecting every single race to be 100% pretty, and this race was not one of those.
Yeah, it wasn't. At times, things come to a head. It's certain things happen on track, and you find drivers are just not going to give as much space as they normally would. I mean, that's not this league. That's just racing in general. Whether it's sim racing, real racing, it doesn't matter. That's just racing in general. And it just happened to come to fruition here at Gateway. Where it's a track that you race like a flat track, you race like a short track, you race like a speedway. This track here is one of those that does breed kind of that short track temper mentality. It just kind of happened. I'm sure those drivers, I mean, they're long-running drivers, long-standing drivers. Both of them are very good, very skilled. You give it that 24-hour cool-off period and everything else, and then they'll probably talk and hash out. That's the way that they are. So it's overhaul. I mean, it was what I would expect from Gateway. I mean, it was a solid race. I mean, this track always poses racing. I didn't think I'd see 4 wide at Gateway. and a crap ton of 3-wide, and a lot of times where it actually stuck and they maintained. A lot of amazing saves, good wheelmanship by a lot of drivers. And what about the new drivers, Jeremy? We had 5 new drivers. They all 5 finished in the top 12. 4 of them finished in the top 10. I mean, that's fantastic. You know, it's showing that they're going to be able to run right in here with the rest of the seasoned veterans here at the Global Racing Truck Series.
And what a competitive track too to jump in. It's not like you're doing a cookie cutter or a super speedway. It's Gateway. I know
Driver's track.
It's a little newer on the schedule compared to some of the other venues for them, and so it just kind of evened the playing field a little bit. But outside of that, like, yeah, they did excellent 7th, 8th, 9th, right? No, 6th, 7th, 8th for those guys in the top
6th, 7th, 8th, 10th, and 12th.
10th, so
yep.
Yeah, so just excellent performance for those guys. Not too strong for Steven Smith involved in the wreck and that 41, but outside of that, yeah, just excellent job, and welcome to the league. Hopefully we see you around each and every Sunday evening. But Dustin, we're going to bring this thing to a close, of course, and Tuesday we got RSR Next Gen Cup Series racing action coming up, I do believe, from the same venue at Worldwide Technology Raceway. So stay tuned for that on Tuesday. But we're going to leave you all with a video to thank our sponsors one last time with the beautiful Scott Martin voice. You guys stay safe out there. Get your nerd on.
This presentation is brought to you in part by
Martin Sports. Get the apparel, look stylish, be badass with apparel from Martin Sports. martinsports.gg. iRacing iFlag. Must-have flag marshaling system for any aspiring sim racer. Get yours today at iracingiflag.com. Boomer button boxes. Total sim control at your fingertips. boomerbuttonboxes.com. If you race hard, then you need to rock hard.
And no station gets you harder than
iRock935.com. If you're a collector and that's your game, then Dusty Pete's, that's the name. DustyPete's.com. TWRS. Got the rig? Got the sim? Now get the speed with setups from TeamWatsonRacing.com.
Back when nothing truly mattered and we hadn't had a clue, we fell in to play the game. Nothing would ever be the same. There were times when there was laughter, there were times when there was joy, but they took